The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
In the Valley of the Sun, we're in Arizona. The Cubs fresh off a trip to Las Vegas as they continue Cactus League play. We are at Maryvale Baseball Park. It's the Cubs and the Brewers. Chicago Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports. It is another beautiful day here in Arizona. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. The Cubs are struggling a bit. They've lost their last 4 in a row. And, we say wins and losses don't really matter. But, Lou would like to get a victory here against the Brewers. And, Bob, the last 2 years, these two teams have been the cream of the crop in the National League Central.
Yeah, Len, what started out as a real nice regional rivalry has turned out for a bona fide rivalry for that National League Central Division title. And I figure it'll be the same way this year. The Brewers had some significant losses in the offseason, but they still have that powerful offense, and we know the Cubs can slug with anybody.
It'll be a fun pitching matchup today. A veteran for Milwaukee, Jeff Suppan. Carlos Zambrano gets his second start of the spring. Nothing's guaranteed as far as opening day just yet, but he'd love to make that start again.
Well, he would love to. And for me personally, Carlos is probably in the best physical shape of his career, and perhaps this will be the season that he reaches that lofty potential that people have been hanging on him since he got to the big leagues.
All right, I mentioned the 4 straight losses. How's Lou feeling about that?
Well, you try to take it with a grain of salt, but knowing Lou the way we do, you want to establish habits that lead to winning ball games. You come down to Arizona to get physically in shape, but you also want to mentally find ways to win games, and I'm sure it's eating at Lou a little bit. A win today wouldn't hurt anything.
All right, it's Big Z against the Brewers. Remember, he pitched in Milwaukee last September. It wasn't against the Brewers, it was against Houston, and he no-hit the Astros. He'd like to do that against the Brewers in 3 innings today. We'll have Cubs baseball from Maryvale Baseball Park next.
This April, the superstars of World Wrestling Entertainment are coming to WGN America. Your favorite superstars from SmackDown, ECW, and Raw. But before they arrive, they'll battle on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. And you could be there. Register at WGNAmerica.com for a chance to win a trip for 2 to the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania in Houston, Texas. Then watch WWE on WGN America. WWE Superstars on WGN America this April.
You do get a hint of drinkability right away.
Does my pen have writability?
Come on, people. We gotta focus. We're not leaving until we've met our budget. We need ideas.
We could cut back on marketing.
We could eliminate bonuses. How about we stop buying Bud Light for every meeting?
It's the only beer with just the right taste. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
It was a joke!
Hi.
What can I get for $1?
That's yours.
How far can I get with this?
You can get out.
How tan can I get for this? That's it? Hi. What can I get for this?
How about crispy, juicy chicken with all the amenities and an irresistible classic known fondly as the McChicken? Huh?
Wow.
Now more than ever, McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Honey, it's the money we could be saving with Geico.
Tell me who's watching.
I'm on it.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's the money you could be saving with Geico. He's not much for conversation, but if he was, it would be a conversation about saving you money.
Tell me who's watching.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome back. We're in West Phoenix. This is Maryvale Baseball Park. The Brewers spending their 12th spring training here. This facility opened in 1998. Not a cloud to be found anywhere. Cool in the shade, just perfect in the sun. This is a place to be today here in the Valley.
Absolutely. The players and the fans here in Maryvale today really caught a break. This time of year in the Valley of Sun, you can have some scorchingly hot days, but a very comfortable afternoon here in Maryvale.
A lot of fans out on the berm in both left and right as we get set for the Cubs and the Brewers. There's your classic shot of the bare feet. Partner, you like that?
Yeah. Enough said.
Well, we're having a little bit of a graphics issue, so we're going back. Remember we did our 1948 WGN broadcast at Wrigley Field? We're ready for Lou Pinella's Pepsi lineup. Pepsi, refresh everything. You want to do the lineup while I refresh?
Well, I have to zoom in just a little bit more. It looks like
we've got reading glasses.
Alfonso Soriano in left field. Sam Fold will be batting second, playing center. Aramis Ramirez at third base, batting third. Micah Hoffpower over at first base, hitting cleanup. We got Mike Fontenot at second base. Reed Johnson playing right field today. Mark Johnson, Mark Johnson will be doing the catching today. Darwin Barney, the youngster, getting the nod at shortstop, batting eighth, and he'll be setting the table for Big Z, Carlos Zambrano.
Ah, that Pepsi tastes very good, nice and cold.
And for the Brewers, veteran Jeff Suppan taking the mound, a 10-game winner last year. Nothing tricky about Jeff Suppan. Certainly the Cubs have seen plenty of Jeff Suppan throughout the course of their respective careers. Sinker, cutter, curveball, slider, changeup. He'll invent pitches out there as need be.
So Soriano will lead it off. And the Cubs losing 4 in a row, and after they got off to a really hot start, they've lost 6 of their last 7. And the one thing Lou would like to see from his veteran position players, a little more bat speed. That's the one thing he looks for in spring training. He says with pitchers, you look for the pop on the fastball, and he's been happy with that. But he would like to see a little bit more bat speed. And we'll have you explain what that means here after the first pitch and how you improve that as a hitter. It's Suppan against Soriano, and we are set. Kendall with the sign. And the first pitch is low.
Well, I'll tell you, just talking about bat speed, in the game of baseball in general, Len, there's nothing that's long and loopy. Everything is short, quick, and explosive.
Flared right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. So Soriano's now 3 out of 15.
Well, when you take into consideration a lot of these guys have spent the winter hitting in batting cages or hitting off the tee and have seen very little live pitching up to this point, it's understandable that the first week or so of spring training, the batters are going to be a little behind. The swing is going to be a lot longer than it will be as we get closer to the end of spring training. So Lou just wants to see some progress. He wants to see a little bit quicker bat speed through that zone. That sound we talk about when guys square it up off the barrel of the bat, he'd like to hear that noise a little bit more often.
Left-handed hitting Sam Fold is playing center. Mike Lamb is in on the grass at third. And Sam shows bunt and takes ball 1 low.
And I'm sure that's on his own. Sam Fold, if he were asked to sacrifice bunt, would have squared around early and made sure to get that ball down on the ground to the first base side. But that's more of a try to bunt for a base hit. If it works, you've got 2 runners on base. If it doesn't work, at least you move Soriano up to second base.
The kick and the pitch taken at the knees for a strike. Bob Davidson's calling the balls and strikes.
Getting back to that show of a bunt on the first pitch, I really like that, Len, especially if it's not an obvious sacrifice bunt situation, because it plants a seed of doubt in the Brewers defense. We see the third baseman Mike Lamb drawn way in from third base. Prince Fielder comes up the line a little bit as the pitch is delivered, and if you're not going to bunt, just by showing it on the first pitch, it possibly creates some holes in the defense.
Ramirez on deck, and then Michael Hoffpower. Cubs with 4 left-handed hitters in the starting lineup, plus the switch batting Carlos Zambrano. 3-1. Big Z was trying to talk his way up the lineup. Randy Wolf of the Dodgers yesterday against the Cubs in Mesa batted second. I guess Joe Torre wanted his starting pitcher to get a couple of ABs, which he did. He laid down a sac bunt in the first. Z, a 2-time Silver Slugger Award winner, thought he could at least get up to 6th. Soriano runs, and it's lifted high in the air. Hardy's going to need some help, and he catches it for the out. That's a nice catch by J.J. Hardy in the proverbial high sky of Arizona.
He wasn't getting a whole lot of help from his outfielders. Mike Cameron was shaded over in the gap in right center field a little bit, and Chris Duffy playing very deep in left field. Hardy makes a nice acrobatic catch going out. He takes a peek right there to see where his left fielder is and realizes that if anybody's going to catch it, it's going to be me. J.J. Hardy made a nice play.
So it brings up Ramirez, a homer and 4 RBIs. Swing and a miss.
You know, and getting back to that bat speed conversation just a little bit, another thing the bat speed will allow you to do is recognize pitches much better. You can allow that ball to travel deeper into the hitting zone. You don't have to commit quite so soon, and consequently you don't get fooled by off-speed pitches or breaking balls. And that will come as we get deeper and deeper into camp and guys see more live pitching.
Suppan coming back. That's smothered by Jason Kendall. Not a big surprise as we see the Brewers. Jason Kendall is behind the plate. It was rare to see him on the bench last year.
Oh, he is a true Iron Man. He's caught more games than any other catcher in baseball over the last number of years here. Let's see, since 1996. Nearly 200 games more than the second place catcher, Pudge Rodriguez.
149 starts behind the plate in 2008. 1-2 on Aramas.
7 straight years of 130 or more starts behind home plate.
The Cubs are 5-6. Milwaukee is 4-3-1. That was a shootout loss.
Yeah, the seasons are kind of intermingling right now. We got baseball starting up, and hockey and basketball, and of course the bane of Major League Baseball players, March Madness, just around the corner. I've talked about it many times in the past. I think it creates panic on the part of baseball fans as the season starts, because you've just come off of a March Madness situation where it's win or go home. Of course, the baseball season is not like that.
You can catch hockey tomorrow. Blackhawks hockey here on WGN Sports, 2 o'clock, as they host the Avalanche. Just got a piece. Those will be for our Chicago viewers only. Well, it was cool when we got here this morning in the shade, but if you get in the sun, it's extremely comfortable. The temperature probably in the mid to upper 60s. 2-2. Lamb will throw to first, and he gets Ramirez. Soriano's at second base, 2 gone. Now the cleanup man, Michael Hoffpower, he's at .310 with 2 homers and 9 knocked in. The last several springs, Michael Hoffpower has garnered a lot of playing time, and it's no different this year. Lou would like to get him as many starts as he can during the regular season. It's going to be tough to get Derek Lee out of the lineup, but Lou has really talked about resting his regular players as much as possible.
And I'm sure Michael Hoffpower appreciates the starts and the opportunity to get the at-bats down here in the Cactus League, and I would anticipate once again as we get closer to the end of camp, Michael will find himself possibly in some pinch hitting roles, because that's going to be a very important role for this ball club that Michael will fill this year also. So you need to get him in those situations down here in the spring training games, coming off the bench cold against a late inning reliever. He's had 1 pinch hit appearance already this spring and came through with a base hit.
Runner at second, 2 outs. We're in the top of the first, and a 1-1 count on Hoffpower. The pitch hit hard but foul past Prince Fielder.
Well, bat speed has not been a problem for Micah Hoffpower in the early going this spring. He has turned around some pretty good fastballs, including that last one by Jeff Suppan, hooked Just foul down that first base line.
Suppan to the belt. And a 1-2 pitch. Got him on the inside corner. For the third out, Milwaukee coming up against Carlos Zambrano. Cubs fail to score.
Yeah. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young.
Every generation refreshes the world.
Cool.
Are you paying more than $1.70 a month for phone service? Then you need Magic Jack for just $19.95 a year. $19.95 a year. Magic Jack is signing up over 250,000 customers a month because we give you free local and long distance, your own phone number, voicemail, and directory assistance. Replace your phone company or add a second line with Magic Jack for just $19.95 a year. Go to magicjack.com.
Day after day, allergy season drags on. Oh, how many days are you going to suffer? Nasonex is the only prescription that's proven to help prevent most seasonal nasal allergy symptoms, including congestion, so you can have more symptom-free days.
Side effects were generally mild and include headache, viral infections, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
Unscented Nasonex for more symptom-free days. It does not come in generic form, so ask your doctor about Nasonex.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Bud Light. With just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. Visit refresheverything.com. By Comcast. Catch more games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888-4BEST-TV today. Dodge announces employee pricing plus. Now get our employee price. And by Southwest Airlines. Travel Southwest Airlines for business and get where you need to go on time. Visit southwest.com today.
Big Z ready to work against second baseman Ricky Weeks. He looks at a sinker for a strike. Duffy, Hardy, Fielder to follow. Hart, Cameron, Lamb, Kendall, and Suppan for the home team. The wind and the second pitch. That's a strike. Z looked very sharp in his first Cactus League outing against Arizona. 2 innings, no hits, no runs. He walked 1, struck out 3. Slated to go 3 innings today. Came into camp in excellent shape. He strikes out Weeks. Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Well, so far he hasn't needed it, but let's take a look at our Cubs Pepsi defense behind Zambrano today. Brought to you by Pepsi. Soriano Fold and Reed Johnson across the outfield today. Aramis Ramirez at third. Micah Hoffpower over at first. The double play combination, youngster Darwin Barney and Mike Fontenot up the middle. Mark Johnson doing the catching today. And as we saw already, Carlos Zambrano on the mound and dealing early.
1 strike on the former Pittsburgh Pirate Chris Duffy, trying to make this club. He's a reserve outfielder. Fouls it back just beyond the screen. Nothing but strikes early on from Big Z. 27 years old, 6'5", 255. He bowed out of the World Baseball Classic. He would have pitched for Venezuela outside. First time he's missed 1 and 2. Now even 2 and 2.
Well, I had a chance to talk to Dale Swaim, the hitting instructor for the Brewers this year, about Chris Duffy before the ball game. Of course, Dale Swaim was the manager for the Pittsburgh Pirates in Double-A Altoona as Duffy was coming up through the Pirates system.
Up the middle, Fontenot backhands. And what a stretch and dig by Michael Hoffpower, and they get it. Tough play for the second baseman running away from first base. But he got some help from Hoffpower.
I'll tell you, Len, you cannot make that play any better than the Cubs' right side of the infield does right here. Tough backhanded play, throw across his body. The throw was in the dirt. A great stretch by Hoffpower at the other end. Nicely done. Just to finish that thought about Chris Duffy, the Pirates were loaded with center field prospects. Nate McLouth, Rajay Davis. Chris Duffy was in the mix, and Dale Swain felt that Chris Duffy was the best defender of the group.
J.J. Hardy, a broken bat fly ball. Soriano with a long run just off his glove. Oh, got to come back. And Hardy will end up at third base with a triple. Soriano got his glove on it, just couldn't haul it in. And J.J. Hardy with a broken bat, three-base hit.
Looking play. J.J. Hardy hits this ball right off the end of the bat. The bat shatters. The barrel went into the Cubs dugout. Soriano just does get a glove on it. That fence down the left field and the right field line here, as you clearly saw, very low. It hits the players well below waist level. Very dangerous situation. And Soriano, in an effort to protect himself, put his hands on the fence and just jumped into the bullpen. And in doing so, gave Hardy an opportunity to advance to third base.
0-1 on Prince Fielder. The Brewers are without Ryan Braun. He's with the United States team in the WBC. Boy, big upset today. The Netherlands beat the Dominican Republic. Sidney Ponson got the win. Got a piece of the ball, and Mark Johnson. 1-2.
I'm sure the people in the Netherlands didn't think it was an upset.
Well, you know, I'll watch. I'll pay attention as we get moving. And the Japan's looked good early. They've won their first 2 games. We will chat with Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig coming up. We'll ask him about the WBC. Right to Hoffpower. This will be an easy play. He'll take it unassisted, and that's it for the Brewers. 2-out triple, no runs. 1 hit, no runs for both teams.
All right, boy, fetch, and I'll give you a treat. Come here. Good boy. Here's your treat.
Fridays has 10 entrees for just $9.99 each, like zesty sizzling chicken and shrimp or tender sirloin steak. The top 10 menu's the real deal, and no one else has it. Give me the choice of 10 full entrees for $9.99. Give me more Fridays.
It's the AutoZone Rewards Card, and it's free to every AutoZone customer. It's simple. The more you shop at AutoZone, the more rewards you earn. So get your free rewards card today. It's our way of saying we're proud to have you as a customer. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
So for my friends and family, I'm choosing my head coach, Pete. And my nutrition coach, and my strength coach.
We got that choice today, Pop. Bring it!
And Coach Pete's home number. And this guy.
It's Gilbert. He's English tutor.
So now I can call them no matter what network they're on?
Without using your minutes.
Sweet!
Introducing Friends and Family from Verizon Wireless. Unlimited calling to the numbers you call most, anywhere in America, anytime. And right now, save 50% on our best Samsung devices.
Daddy, the truck's here.
When you want more cargo room, Enterprise will pick you up.
We're making a playhouse.
And get you on your way to special memories.
How's it going?
Finished.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Boston Legal, tonight at 7 East, 4 West on WGN America.
Who's your dad?
Second inning, Cubs batting against Jeff Suppan. And Mike Fontenot, the second baseman, to lead it off. Called strike. red hot. 391, a couple of doubles, 2 triples, a homer, 4 RBIs. 18 total bases. That leads the majors. Running really well. 2 triples.
Yeah, talking to the coaching staff down in that third base dugout before the ball game, and to a man, they were all impressed with the improvement in speed from Mike Fontenot so far this spring. Tell you what, Len, there's an opportunity there for somebody to win that second base job outright. And I think Mike Fontenot had it in the back of his mind coming into this spring. He was going to do everything possible to show up in the best shape he could possibly be and try to take full advantage of that opportunity. And as you said earlier, Lou has been adamant about resting his regulars from time to time and using the entire roster a lot more this year. So certainly Mike is going to be in the mix in some fashion, but he wants to be the guy.
Swing and a miss. Second straight strikeout for the 34-year-old righty Suppan. And here comes Reed Johnson, who's playing right.
Breaking ball down and in right under the hands of Mike Fontenot. That ball started off the plate inside. Dive bombs down toward that back leg. And Mike comes up empty.
Lamb even with a bag at third. Bender's low. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnson can play all 3 outfield spots. Slated to platoon in center with Kosuke Fukudome. Suppan signed a 4-year contract prior to 2007 worth $42 million. At the time, it was the largest contract in team history. High chopper. Lamb will play it after 2 bounces, and he gets it. As you mentioned in the open, the big storyline for the Brewers going into this season, they have a new manager, Ken Maka. Is no CC Sabathia. He signed that huge contract with the Yankees. Ben Sheets was not brought back, and he had elbow surgery. And boy, you talk about bad timing for an injury. Not sure if Ben Sheets is going to end up with anybody this year. Here's the catcher, Mark Johnson. But you lose your top 2 starters, and now Braden Looper, who was signed pretty late in the offseason, has an oblique injury. It doesn't sound like it's that serious. And a roller past Weeks, base hit for Mark Johnson. It's a 2-out single. And it gives Darwin Barney, the shortstop, a chance. And the other most recent pitching news, and it's not good for them, is that Eric Gagne has an injury as well with his shoulder. So they're not really counting on him at this point. They have a new closer, Trevor Hoffman, the all-time saves leader. So a lot of changes in their pitching staff.
Oh, no question about it, Len. And outside the 2 guys that you mentioned, CC Sabathia and Ben Sheets, this Brewers ball club has never really been known as a pitching heavy organization. They're all about scoring runs and scoring runs in bunches, and offensively they figure to be every bit as potent as they were last year, and they're going to have to be with the pitching staff they're going to run out there.
Well, the thing that definitely stands out with their position players is these guys have now been together for a few years. They're no longer really a young group. And they made the playoffs. They won the wild card. They clinched on the final day of the season. First time they were in the playoffs since 1982. They lost to the Phillies in 4 games. The pitch, the get off me ball. Darwin Barney had to really fight that one off. Prince Fielder lost a little weight in the offseason. I'll tell you, we say that just about every player we see these days. Not too many guys you go, wow, he ballooned. Maybe a few years ago you would have said that.
Well, and the guys that do possibly gain some weight in the offseason stick out like a sore thumb because everybody else is in such great shape when you come into spring training, and you don't want to be that guy that gets singled out by the training staff and the strength and conditioning coach saying, hey, lay off the glazed donuts.
Two pitch, hammered foul, look out. screamers sent into the seats. Huge crowd on hand today. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being their biggest crowd so far.
There still seems to be some people coming in as well. A lot of room still left out on the grass, but it's starting to fill up. Great day for a ball game.
Another foul. Well, we enjoyed our two-day stint in Las Vegas, but it's nice to bring you Cubs baseball from Arizona. And we'll be back at Ho-Ho-Com Park in Mesa next Saturday afternoon against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Johnson will be on the move over there at first base. Good opportunity for Darwin Barney here. Try to split a gap somewhere, put the Cubs on the board. And it's going to take a gapper to score Mark Johnson, the catcher from first base.
Johnson goes on the 3-2 pitch. Hardy will scoop this one up. Took a big hop at the end, but no problem, and he gets Barney by a full step. Another hit for the Cubs, but still no runs after an inning and a half. We're scoreless.
Yeah. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. Sing it. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young.
Every generation refreshes the world.
Cool.
From the sea comes a natural way to breathe freely. New Afrin Pure Sea, the only nasal rinse made from 100% seawater. Afrin Pure Sea gently rinses out dirt, germs, and allergens. Breathe freely with new Afrin Pure Sea.
If you have a history of smoking and breathing problems, it could be COPD, which includes chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or both. Discover Spiriva, the only once-daily inhaled maintenance prescription that treats both forms of COPD. Spiriva significantly improves lung function to help you breathe better for a full 24 hours. And it's not a steroid. Spiriva is not a rescue inhaler. Tell your doctor about your medicines, even eye drops, and illnesses like glaucoma and urinary or prostate problems. These may worsen with Spiriva. The most common side effect is dry mouth. Others include constipation and problems passing urine. In the event your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes, or eye pain, stop taking Spiriva and call your doctor. Spiriva is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor.
Make a habit of breathing better with Spiriva.
Out of Sight Retro Night, Sunday at 5 East, 2 West on WGN America.
Welcome back to Maryvale Baseball Park, and it's great to see a good friend, Corey Provis, formerly of WGN Radio, Highland Park, Illinois native, and he has been hired to do Brewers Radio alongside Bob Uecker. And we're very happy for Corey. Unfortunately, he's with the enemy now, but we can talk to him in a friendly tone before the game. But once the first pitch is thrown, we lock the booth. No, it's great to see Corey, and we congratulate him. Here's another Corey Hart, playing right. He was an all-star last year, went through a real tough stretch late in the year. He powers that one to deep center. Sam Fuld runs out of room. It's off the wall, and Corey Hart has a double. Unlike in Mesa, where you have to hit the ball over the batter's eye, they do have a yellow line on the high wall in center, and Corey Hart almost found it.
Well, we've seen enough of Corey Hart over the last couple of years to know he's a real good low ball hitter, and that time he got a low fastball from Carlos Zambrano and golfed it out there to center field. Sam Fulton played that ball about as well as you possibly can. He went all the way back to the warning track thinking he might have a shot at it. When he realized he did not, he retreated quickly toward the infield, played the carom perfectly, and held Corey Hart to a double. You see that line Len was talking about.
If he hit it a little bit to the right, he would have had a shot at a home run too. Mike Cameron hits it the other way. Base hit. Hart is going to be stopped at third base, and the throw gets all the way through on Cameron to go to second base. Brad Fisher, the new third base coach, put on the stop sign. First and second and third, rather, nobody out.
It's kind of hard to tell from our angle, Len, whether that throw was in such a place that Michael Hoffpauir could have cut it off. Very late stop over at third base by the coach. Nice piece of hitting by Mike Cameron, shooting that ball to the right side. And Reed Johnson's throw back to the infield. It's still hard to tell whether Micah could have possibly cut that ball off or not. The runner was right in front of him. That's where, as a first baseman, you really depend on your catcher behind you to let you know what's going on. It might have been just a little too high for Michael Hoffpauir. Unfortunately, that allows the Brewers to move another runner into scoring position.
1-1 on Mike Lamb, left-handed batting third baseman. The Brewers have been without their starting third baseman Bill Hall. He has a partially torn left calf, but he is improving and should be back soon. Swing and a foul straight back. 1-2. Well, with the longer camp, Cubs are bringing Carlos Zambrano, or they did bring him along a little bit more slowly. This is why it's only his second Cactus League start. Tapper, runners are going to hold, picked up by Z. Now Hart's going to try to score. Throw gets into right, and Cameron's going to score as well. And it's 2-0. Z barehanded that ball and threw it past Michael Hoffpauir. And Lamb ended up at second.
Little tapper to the third base side. We know Carlos is a great athlete, gets off the mound quickly. Unfortunately, his throw to first base way off the mark. And once again, that throw over the cutoff man, allowing Mike Cameron to move into scoring position, comes back to haunt the Cubs right there. If he was still at first base, he doesn't score on that overthrow.
Called strike on Kendall. So it's an infield hit for Lamb and a throwing error on Zambrano. 3 straight hits to start the inning. So Z making his second start today, and Rich Harden will make his first Cactus League start coming up on Tuesday. Z's had some eye trouble. There have been reports of him possibly having LASIK eye surgery at some point. Don't know if he's going to do that or not. Had been wearing contacts, but had some trouble with his right eye. Swung on and missed. So Kendall down on strikes, and here comes a pitcher, Jeff Suppan. Second strikeout for Z.
Unusual to see Jason Kendall having at bat with a runner at second and nobody out, and failed to advance that runner. He's normally very adept at hitting that ball to the right side of the field. That time comes up empty on a fastball, or rather an off-speed pitch right down the middle of the plate.
Called strike on Suppan.
You know, then we talked briefly in the open about Carlos Zambrano, and I mentioned that maybe this will be the year that finally he reaches that potential that everybody's been expecting since he got to the big leagues. And really, it's kind of unfair. I mean, this guy has been one of the most dominating pitchers in all of baseball for the last 6 seasons. He's averaged 15 wins a year. He started 30 or more games over the last 6 years. And if you talk to National League hitters, this is a very uncomfortable at bat. Nobody likes to face Carlos Zambrano. And because of all those factors, I think everybody expects him to be better than the numbers have shown up to this point. And I think Larry Rothschild and Lou Piniella, and certainly Cub fans everywhere, are just waiting for that one season when Carlos is able to put it all together and win 25 games. have an ERA in the high 2s or low 3s and win a Cy Young award. We saw him throw a no-hitter last year, so certainly the potential is there.
Well, I think you hit on it. The criticism that comes in is just the occasional rough patch of 3, 4, 5 starts where he really struggles. But you're right, he's been as consistent as any starter in all of baseball. Suppan grounds out.
And when you have such exceptional ability as Carlos does, you know, the expectations sometimes aren't really fair. You look at a guy, you see his stuff, you see his competitive nature, what a great athlete he is, how he helps himself with the bat and running the bases and fielding his position. Today notwithstanding, but you expect big things from Carlos. And, you know, so far he's been really good. I think we might see in the very near future Carlos go even beyond that.
Ricky Weeks sends it straight up in the air. Johnson behind the plate makes the catch. I have to tell you, it's not an easy play. The Brewers get a couple of runs after the throwing error by Carlos Zambrano. Johnson ending the inning with a nice catch back to the plate. 2-0 Brewers.
I hear what you're saying. I just don't do commercials. It's not my thing.
Conan, this is different. It's a ton of money, and it's only going to be seen in Sweden.
Only in Sweden?
All the Hollywood guys do this.
This one commercial couldn't hurt.
Bud Light.
Vroom, vroom, the party starter.
Vroom, vroom, party starter.
That wasn't me.
Hey, Conan. Vroom, vroom, party starter.
Party starter.
Hi.
What can I get for $1?
That's yours.
How far can I get with this?
You can get out.
How tan can I get for this? That's it? Hi. What can I get for this?
How about crispy, juicy chicken with all the amenities and an irresistible classic known fondly as the McChicken? Huh?
Wow.
Now more than ever, McDonald's Dollar Menu.
Does your mouthwash work in 6 different ways? Introducing Listerine Total Care. It gives you a cleaner, healthier mouth by fighting unsightly plaque, restoring enamel, strengthening teeth, helping prevent cavities, killing bad breath germs, and freshening your breath. Introducing 6-in-1 Listerine Total Care. No mouthwash is more complete.
2 supernatural super blondes and 1 back-to-back hour of magical mayhem. Bewitched.
A witch.
And I Dream of Jeannie.
No kidding, really? Of course, Master.
Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. Weekdays starting at 2 East, 11 West.
Why did I not think of that?
This is the year, and you have a chance to be at every game. The CBOE Seats Season Ticket Auction will give you that chance. Bid today at the CBOE Seats Season Ticket Auction to win season tickets, including the rights to purchase postseason tickets. The CBOE seats, located in the first 3 rows between the Cubs dugout and bullpen, are only available at Cubs.com. The auction ends this Wednesday. Carlos Zambrano hit .337. in 2008. Highest batting average by a Cubs pitcher in the modern era, going back to 1900. He won the Silver Slugger, and he smacks one into center.
I'll tell you, Len, nothing makes an offensive player more angry than seeing a pitcher like Carlos go up there and make it look this easy. His second start in spring training. Tailing fastball, maybe a little bit off the outside corner. You just can't do it any better than that. Head right down on the barrel of the ball, line drive up the middle of the field. It's not that easy.
Take it easy on the bases, Z. Spring training. Here's Soriano. Off the end of the bat foul. He blooped one into right center to start the game. Fly ball right center again. And it's Mike Cameron to make the catch. Cub fans, don't forget to check out our WGN baseball blog on WGNTV.com. Click on the sports link. Look for Len and Bob's baseball blog. On the blog today, we have game notes. Also, spring training video from our flip camera and a plea for your help with our fan cam. Once again, it's WGNTV.com. 1 out in the inning. Sam Fold popped out to the shortstop Hardy his first time. Zambrano with a short lead at first. Pitch by Suppan. Fold whiffs 1-1. Somebody just got up in the Milwaukee pen, so this is probably final inning for Suppan. Pretty predictable in spring training. 2 innings, 3 innings, 4 innings. We're still a month away. Chris Narveson is up. The pitch. Slicing drive to left for Duffy.
Yeah, Len, it's not hard to tell who the home team is just by looking at the respective dugouts. There's got to be about 25 players up on the rail on the first base side of the field. Of course, this is the Milwaukee Brewers home field. They have their facilities surrounding Maryvale Stadium, and a lot of those guys will probably take an extra BP earlier today and decided to come over and catch a few innings of the ball game before hitting the weight room and then heading home for the afternoon.
Open stance from Ramirez. Aramis had that look. He wasn't going to swing no matter what. We saw a more patient Aramis Ramirez last year, a career high in walks. 74 walks, a .380 on base percentage. These were career highs. That's in there, 1-1. 6th year of 100 or more knocked in. Carlos still hasn't moved from first after the leadoff base hit. You know, that cheated that time.
And the walks really don't tell the whole story. Obviously, a huge improvement on the part of Aramis Ramirez, but not only drawing the base on balls, but how many at bats did his patience result in those great hitters counts last year? 2-0, 3-1. That's good pitches to hit, and he really hit them hard last year. I said it at the end of the season. I think he was the most improved player on the roster last year, which is an odd thing to say for a guy who's had the experience and the success that Aramis Ramirez has had. But he really took his game to another level.
Fouled off the breaking ball right near our booth.
Are you ready to make a play yet? To get one up here today?
No. Ready to duck. Still spring training for me. Reflexes aren't quite where they'll be in the regular season. Another 1-2 low and outside.
Well, with that in mind, I'm sure we could get one of the coaches to stand out in the middle of the infield with a fungo bat and hit some line
Sure,
drives up this way
not?
if you want to work on it.
It's not a bad idea. I'm sure there are a few coaches who'd love to take a shot at me. Alan Trammell. Well, he's worked a full count, 3-2. Zambrano will be on the move with 2 outs. We're in the third. The Brewers with a couple of runs in the second. struck him out swinging to end the inning. It's the third strikeout for Supine. Cubs with a single in each of the first three. Still scoreless. Milwaukee leads 2-0.
It's the 24th Annual Stellar Gospel Music Awards. Join co-hosts Donnie McClurkin, Dorinda Clark Cole, and Sinbad with performances by Ty Tribbett, Heather Headley, Kirk Franklin, Dionne Warwick, and many more.
Tonight at 8 on WGN America. Star Trek: The Next Generation, Tuesday at 7 East, 4 West on WGN America.
They said it would never last, but it's been 2 months, and you're still going strong.
Introducing Glade Lasting Impressions. 2 fragrances alternate to keep things fresh and exciting day after day. And not just for 30 days, but for 60. It's the longest lasting plug-ins ever. Get freshness that won't fade away for 60 days with Plug-ins Lasting Impressions.
It's new, and yes, it's Glade.
SC Johnson, a family company.
It's the AutoZone Rewards Card, and it's free to every AutoZone customer. It's simple. The more you shop at AutoZone, the more rewards you earn. So get your free rewards card today. It's our way of saying we're proud to have you as a customer. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Hello, America. As your Secretary of Taste, I'm implementing a taste stimulus package, and Domino's American Legends are the cornerstone. So whether you're some yoga babe who digs tasty veggies or a lumberjack craving steak and 40% more cheese. Hello, Mr. President. Tell them taste is on the way. Ask not what your crust can do for you. Ask if it has cheese on it.
Introducing Domino's American Legends. 6 legendary American tastes like the Pacific Veggie and Honolulu Hawaiian, each with a cheesy crust. From Domino's.
Daddy, the truck's here.
When you want more cargo room, Enterprise will pick you up
We're making a playhouse.
and get you on your way to special memories.
How's it going?
Finished.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Len and Bob and our WGN Sports crew from sunny Arizona. Maryvale Baseball Park, spring home of the Brewers. These two teams will battle it out once again in 2009. We'll see the Brewers again in the first week of the season. Their home opener is April 10th as they host the Cubs. You can catch that one right here on WGN Sports, 3 o'clock Central Time. Apparently, Chris Duffy went around, according to the home plate umpire, Bob Davidson.
We give a shit. That's who gives a shit.
And Ken Maka has a few words for Bob Davidson.
Well, I guarantee you the players and the coaches, they do care about spring training at bats and spring training games. In the grand scheme of things, nobody will remember this a month from now, but Chris Duffy is a guy that's trying to make some things happen, and that is not a swing. I don't care what Bob Davidson said. He did not swing at that pitch.
1-1 the count.
And it gets back to my perennial argument. I bring it up every year. If an umpire's tracking a pitch all the way through the hitting zone, I don't know how you can also see what the bat is doing. Now, I guess on certain pitches, the bat will enter your peripheral vision as the guy checks his swing and the ball's in the hitting area. But, yeah, for me, if you're concentrating on the baseball, there's no way you see the bat. And Major League Baseball has done a tremendous job over the last 4 or 5 years of using the eyes of all 4 umpires on every play to make sure you get it right.
Called strike 3, and the Brewer fans don't like it. Chris Duffy doesn't like it. Z does. That's his 3rd punch out. You be the judge.
Well, the check swing earlier in the sequence. This fastball, up above the letters a little bit. That's a rough at bat for Chris Duffy. Hang with him.
Hardy tripled on a broken bat fly down the left field line his first time.
I think you could describe that as a look of disbelief. Chris Duffy must have parked in the umpire's lot today or something. Took Bob Davidson's spot.
America. A couple of division titles with the Oakland A's. They won the West in 03 and 06. Swing and the miss. It's 2-2 on Hardy. He replaced Dale Swain, who is still with the coaching staff. He's their hitting coach. Back-to-back strikeouts for Big Z. One more out and he'll be done for the day.
Not only Dale Swain on the staff, who was the interim manager at the end of the season last year, but also Willie Randolph, who also interviewed for the Brewers managerial job. So let's see how that progresses as the season moves forward.
Your former Mets manager Willie Randolph. Coming up, we'll talk with Cubs pitching coach Larry Rothschild. Get his thoughts on Z's outing, the progress of Rich Harden, and some of the other pitchers in camp. Z's got that quick pace working here. The 2-1 to Fielder. It hit him. I'm not so sure Prince Fielder thought that ball hit him. But Bob Davidson thought so.
He just caught a piece of that extra baggy uniform that Prince Fielder features up there at the plate.
I don't know where it hit him.
Oof. There's a thread hanging off the underarm on the right side there of Prince Fielder. I think it hit the thread.
Job by Johnson to go out and get it. Normally, Bob, there's some sort of reaction from a hitter, and Prince Fielder didn't react at all. I think it goes back to what we discussed the other night. I think he wanted to deep at bat against the guy he's going to see a lot in the regular season.
Boy, you bring up a great point. When you're facing teams that are in your own division in spring training, those hitters want to get as many looks that opposing pitching staff as they possibly can to use it as an advantage during the regular season.
Hart looked like he was fooled a little bit. 1-1. I see Z thinking about his mechanics a little bit. Angel Guzman. We'll see some action today. Two and two.
Better location with the heater that time from Zambrano, and Corey Hart's first at bat of the ball game. He doubled off the batter's eye in center field on a fastball down below the knees. Good low ball hitter.
2-2. He struck him out. All 3 outs in the end were strikeouts. 5 on the day for Zambrano. Gave up 2 runs in his 3 innings of work. This was the final pitch of his afternoon. It's 2-0 Milwaukee.
Like that drinkability. Huh? Drinkability means Bud Light's easy to drink. See, Bud Light goes down smooth like this guy here. But other beers go down like this guy. Is that really the best way to make your point?
Don't worry, nobody saw that.
The easy drinking taste of Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Trust me, chicks dig this.
Get the beat turned up, grab a stick of juicy fruit. The taste is gonna move you. It's your song, sing it loud. The taste is gonna move you when you pop it in your mouth. Juicy fruit is gonna move you. A catchy kind of rhythm you feel right through you. Juicy fruit, the taste is gonna move you.
I'll call you then. Bye.
Devin?
Cindy, it's been a long time.
Yeah, I'll
say you've got the whole Verizon Wireless network, Mr. Fear of Commitment. It's weird.
Well, they came with my pay-as-you-go plan, so I only pay for them when I use them.
So you haven't changed at all?
No.
Goodbye long-term contracts. Hello, America's largest calling family. Get unlimited talk to more people, use 0 minutes. Plus, get this Samsung for just $19.99 at select retailers and Verizon Wireless.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Two to nothing Milwaukee. The Cubs will bat in the 4th inning, and we have with us from the Cubs dugout Larry Rothschild. Larry, I say it every year. Can you believe it's year 8 for you with the Chicago Cubs?
I guess yes and no, but you know, it's been good. It's good to be back, and hopefully we can get it done this year.
Michael Hoffpower will face Chris Narveson. Big Z done after 3. Your thoughts on his performance today?
I thought he made a lot of good pitches, and the one thing we're really emphasizing, which we have in the past, is to make sure he's using his legs. You know, when he's good, he's almost a drop and drive pitcher, and you know, sometimes during the course of the year he gets a little bit lazy with it and does not use his legs well, and that's, you know, sometimes he can run into a problem with his arm.
Nice catch by Mike Cameron. He's a Gold Glover out in center.
You know, Larry, we've talked in the past about the occasional problem that Carlos will have with his arm angle. Are you pleased in the early going this spring that Carlos has his arm in a good slot?
Yeah, very much so. And I think if you saw him today gyrating on the mound a few times, tell himself to make sure it's up and reminding himself, you know, he's well aware of it. And really his arm drops when he doesn't use his legs, because everything drags behind. He doesn't give himself time over the rubber, and he ends up having to throw from the lower slot. So, you know, we really emphasize with him, make sure you're dropping over the rubber and driving into it, and then his arm will come up naturally, and that's when he's at his best.
Fontenot grounds out. Larry, with the 39 games, there's no sense in going too quickly with any of your starting pitchers. So this was the 2nd start for Carlos, and it sounds like Rich Harden's going to make his Cactus League debut Tuesday.
Yes, he will, and he'll go 2 innings. And actually, Z had pitched a 2-inning sim game before his first game, so this is, you know, you can look at it almost as his 3rd time out. But, you know, I know it's a long spring and there's a lot of games. I just don't want to get into that attitude of, you know, we can get it going at the end. I'm not really in favor of that. So, you know, I've talked to these guys about, you know, when you go out there, be ready to go. I don't care how long the spring is or anything else. If we need to take a break, we'll take it. But, you know, we need to get in the mindset to make sure we're sharp to start the season. And, you know, you don't want to wear it out early or any of that, but you don't want to get too lazy and get in that lazy frame of mind where, you know, we can get it done tomorrow, because tomorrow will come real quick if we're like that.
Infield single for Reed Johnson. And Mark Johnson stepping in. It looks like Jim Edmonds wearing jersey number 15.
A little bit smaller.
Yes. And Narveson will check on Reed Johnson.
You know, they're talking about the long spring, and very early in camp, it seems like a lot of guys, not only the pitchers, but the hitters, it's more of a mechanical thing. You know, you're working on some things. You're trying to maybe correct some bad habits from the season before. At what point in spring do you want guys to kind of, okay, your mechanics are good now. Now let's talk about going out and attacking the other team and trying to win a ball game?
Well, I think, you know, once we're getting into the past the 3 innings, which is coming around this rotation, that, you know, you can do certain things when you're going around in order, you know, one time and not even that. You know, Depp working on throwing first pitch strikes with his fastball and throwing mostly fastballs. That's okay, but, you know, now we get into the 4 innings and 5 innings. It's time to, you know, it's time to get in the mindset to use pitches as set up pitches, and, you know, knowing that you're going to face hitters probably 2 and 3 and 4 times in a game. So, you know, they have to get in that mindset. And really, you know, you don't want to leave spring training trying to catch up, trying to, you know, get good outings under your belt. You want to be ready when the season starts and have the confidence to get going. So I think we concentrate on that. And really, my mindset is, you know what, when you go out there, be ready to go and get it done. And, you know, if we need to back off and give you extra days, we'll do that. But, you know, when you go out to the mound, I want you ready to go. And if we're working on something, that's fine. But you have to do it in the context of how you're going to do it during the year. Otherwise, it's almost a waste of time. You're not using it. You know, say you want to use a changeup and you throw out changeups. You know, like Teddy last spring where he didn't develop the arm speed. He was throwing changeups off of a changeup, and that's easy to do. But when you're throwing 89, 90, 91, it's a little different pitch. And you know, you have to build the arm strength first and foremost and get command of the fastball. So that's what we concentrate on.
2-2 the count. Runner at first, 2 outs. We're chatting with Larry Rothschild.
Well, Larry, you've got some pitchers, including Carlos Marmol and Ted Lilly, participating in the World Baseball Classic. How are you able to monitor what they're doing since they're with other teams right now?
Well, I talked to Marcel Latchman before Ted's outing, after it, and really when I found out he was gone, we went over schedules with him. And, you know, Teddy went 4 innings the other day, and it concerned me a little bit. But, you know, he only threw 40 pitches. When I talked to Marcel, he said he had 30 after 3. We told him, you've got 10 more, and he said on the 10th pitch he got the 3rd out. So he said he threw exceptionally well. And Marcel I have a lot of respect for. He's a very good pitching coach, and you know, he knows how to get guys ready, and he really, the mission there is to win, obviously, but he wants to make sure he returns the guys to their teams that they're going to be healthy and they're going to be at the point in spring training they should be, and not try to push them further than that. So it's a good situation there. And you know, really with Carlos, it's a little different. He's going to be a closer, a short man. And I don't think they're going to overuse him. I don't know if you can in that, because there's days off wedged in between, and there's rules as far as how much they can throw. So, you know, I think he'll be okay. I would have liked to have had him here because there were a couple of things delivery-wise I wanted to get done before he left, and we tried. And hopefully it pays off and he's okay, but I would have been more comfortable with him here.
Weeks to his right, and he'll get Mark Johnson. Larry, always a pleasure. Take care of that voice, okay?
All right, Leonard Bob. It's good talking to you again.
All right, that's Larry Rothschild, Cubs pitching coach, 2-0 Milwaukee.
Let's go. Damn right.
On the next Boston Legal Weekends. Tonight at 7 East, 4 West. Turn on your TV.
No.
Sundays to WGN America.
Don't touch that dial.
It's Out of Sight Retro Night. Sunday at 5 East, 2 West. Only on WGN America.
I love softball. I live for it. I want to play with reckless abandon. Yeah, I want to play like I'm 18. When I play sports like this, I have pain. I hurt all over. To deal with the pain, I take a leave. It allows me to play 3 games a day and not hurt. If I didn't have a leave to help me with the pain, I'd be sitting on the sidelines. My name's Mark Hamby, and I'll never stop playing softball.
Hi. What can I get for $1?
That's yours.
How far can I get with this?
You can get out.
How tan can I get for this? That's it? Hi. What can I get for this?
How about crispy, juicy chicken with all the amenities and an irresistible classic known fondly as the McChicken? Huh?
Wow.
Now more than ever, McDonald's Dollar Menu.
What are you eating?
Multigrain Cheerios.
So, trying to watch your weight?
No, why?
Nothing. It's just the box. It says it's low in fat.
Do I look like I need to watch my weight?
No. It just says it has 110 calories per serving.
Yeah, but there are other reasons why I like it.
I know. It's the box.
What else does the box say?
Box says shut up, Steve.
Multigrain Cheerios cereal, because it tastes good. Try new Banana Nut Cheerios with the great taste of real banana.
Mark your calendars. Tickets for some of the best seats in the house. The dugout, bullpen, and bleacher box seats will go on sale March 13th at Cubs.com. Fans will have the opportunity to purchase tickets on a single-game basis. Tickets will be available only online at Cubs.com and can be purchased starting at 10 a.m. on the 13th. For more info on prices and how to purchase dugout, bullpen, and bleacher box seats, visit Cubs.com. Lots of Cub fans making the trek over here to Maryvale Baseball Park, west side of Phoenix, as Angel Guzman, hard-throwing right-hander, deals ball 1 to Mike Cameron. The line for Big Z. 3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. No walks, 5 strikeouts. On the run scoring play, Mike Lamb was credited with an infield hit and an RBI. And the second run scored on the throwing error by Zambrano. Popped him up shallow right. Long run for Reed Johnson, and Fontenot will make the over-the-shoulder catch. These are all important outings for Guzman. As we chatted with Assistant General Manager Randy Bush the other day, Guzman is out of options. The Cubs will have to make a decision on Angel at the end of camp, and we'll talk with Jim Hendry, Cubs Vice President and General Manager, a little bit later. This is Angel's 10th season in the Cubs organization. Strike 1 to Mike Lamb. Thanks to Larry Rothschild for joining us. 0-2. What we got going here?
Get the shades.
That's right. The railing.
Place to hang the shades.
The railing needs some shades.
Well, Dad's going to need the shades on the drive home, so hopefully they won't leave them there after the ball game. No, Dad's already got the shades. Those must be his.
They're his.
All right.
One, two. Pounding ball to Barney, the shortstop.
Well, still thinking back to that pop-up out there in shallow right field with Reed Johnson coming in, Mike Fontenot going out, and on our replay you could clearly see Mike Fontenot never took his eyes off the ball. One of the most important factors in that play is trust. As an infielder going out, especially with a day like today, the high sky, the bright sun, as an infielder, if you take your eye off that ball, there's a real possibility you won't pick it up again when you look back up
look out.
Whoa, a second time. And Mike Fontenot had trust that if Reed Johnson was going to come in and make the play, that he was going to call loud enough that Fontenot would be able to get off the ball and let Reed take it. Trust is such an important factor defensively for those infielders going out into the shallow outfield.
There's a strike. Well, we got the ball, and I didn't go after it. You didn't even know it was coming.
I didn't know it was coming.
And we'll make sure a kid ends up with this ball. Inside off the plate.
It's tough to get it to a kid, you know?
Yeah, I know it. I'm trying to find a kid. There's a kid right there, Cub fan right there. Okay. It's Barney again. I don't know if I can get it to him. Here we go. You ready? Everybody watching? All right. He caught it. It's 2-0.
Hello, America. As your Secretary of Taste, I'm implementing a taste stimulus package, and Domino's American Legends are the cornerstone. So whether you're some yoga babe who digs tasty veggies or a lumberjack craving steak and 40% more cheese. Hello, Mr. President. Tell them taste is on the way. Ask not what your crust can do for you. Ask if it has cheese on it.
Introducing Domino's American Legends. 6 legendary American tastes like the Pacific Veggie and Honolulu Hawaiian, each with a cheesy crust. From Domino's.
I own this marathon station, and I'm proud to be part of this community.
These people know me, and I want to take care of them.
It may sound simple, but we work hard to serve you better.
That's the American spirit, and I believe you'll find that at Marathon.
All Marathon gasolines are fortified with STP additives, which help prevent deposit buildup and help maintain fuel economy. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
It's the AutoZone Rewards Card, and it's free to every AutoZone customer. It's simple. The more you shop at AutoZone, the more rewards you earn. So get your free rewards card today. It's our way of saying we're proud to have you as a customer. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Right now, Fridays has 10 entrees for just $9.99 each, like zesty sizzling chicken and shrimp or tender sirloin steak. The top 10 menu's the real deal, and no one else has it. Give me the choice of 10 full entrees for $9.99. Give me more Fridays.
Join Donnie McClurkin, Dorinda Clark Cole, and Sinbad for the 24th Annual Stellar Gospel Music Awards. Don't miss it.
Tonight at 8 on WGN America. Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I am Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Tuesday at 7 East, 4 West on WGN America.
You didn't say you could do that.
Well, we had a little fun with the young Cubs fan who had his glove with him. Good timing. A little nervous about throwing a baseball down.
You're right on the money. Near the outside corner. Yeah. He's not going to quit smiling until he gets home today.
Nicely done. Narveson still in there. And a strike on Darwin Barney. On deck is pinch it. It's Sotaguchi. Suppan started it, gave up 3 hits, no runs in 3 innings. Lefty coming back, and it's hit foul straight back. You know, Chris Narveson reminds me of a little bit Chris Capuano, who's coming off Tommy John surgery on a similar delivery.
We haven't seen his pickoff move to first base, but if it's anything like Chris Capuano's, Narveson can control a running game.
Right there at the end of his leg kick really slows it down. He's a former St. Louis Cardinal. He had Tommy John surgery prior to 2002. Good eye by Barney, 3-2. Great experience here for Darwin Barney here in big league camp. He's only 23. Tony La Russa, Dusty Baker, John Russell, Cecil Cooper. They're all thinking about how do we get past the Cubs in the Central Division. The Cubs have won the division each of the last 2 years.
And in Ken Maka's case, he's trying to do it all the while trying to learn his own organization, learn not only the players he's got at the big league level and what their capabilities and weaknesses are, but also take a close look at some of these minor league players that are going to end up back in minor league camp probably in the next week or two, just to see what kind of reinforcements he has available in the minors.
Weeks to Fielder to get Barney. A Cubs fantasy a week at the Randy Hundley camp, which will air Saturday, March 14th at 6:30 and Sunday, March 15th at 10:30 p.m. Chicago only. We'll have info on when the show will be on WGN America at a later date. So check it out, a Cubs fantasy. Taguchi batting in the pitcher's spot. Nice job by Angel Guzman. 3 up, 3 down in his inning of work. So Taguchi has been on 3 teams that have gone to the World Series. He has a couple of rings. Well, I should say he probably has 1 ring. The other one's on its way. The Phillies. You see Paul Bacco there in the middle. We finally got to the bottom of it. And base hit to center. Paul Bacco was making a throw the other day in Las Vegas, and he hit his mask, and when it came back, it cut him in the bridge of his nose. That's why he had the bandage.
Yeah, on the old school catcher's mask, like Jason Kendall is wearing today behind home plate, you have an extension on either side just off your temple that protects your ears from foul balls that come straight back. And sometimes when you make that throw to second base and you get that right hand a little too close to the helmet, it'll spin your mask around. And when it did for Paul Bacco, it came back and popped him in the nose.
Cameron is out of the game. Trot Nixon is in left. Duffy may be in center. Sweet Lou, National League Manager of the Year. He's won it in both leagues now 3 times, twice with Seattle and once with the Cubs.
Obviously a tremendous award. It's always nice to be recognized, but I think Lou and any other manager who's ever won a Manager of the Year award would tell you that it's all about your players doing what you expect them to do. That makes any manager look good. Put a pinch hitter in a game and he comes up with a big hit. Make a pitching change and the reliever comes in the game and gets the big out that you need. That always makes the manager look good, and I'm sure Lou would agree that his players really had great seasons last year.
Soriano called out on strikes. Good curveball from Narveson. It's up to Sam Fuld. Boy, every inning for the Cubs, they've had 1 hit, a single. And they've only had a runner in scoring position once in these first 5 innings.
There you see the tape on Paul Bacco's nose in Las Vegas the other day. You see that extension off the right side there. He kind of clipped that with his hand as he threw the ball to second base, and as the mask spun around, it caught him on the bridge of the nose. Just another merit badge. Scars are merit badges for catchers.
The pitch. 2-1 on Fuld. Paul seems to be hiding from the cameras. Oh, there you can see it. Battle scar. Fly ball to left. Trot Nixon with the catch, and yet again the Cubs get a base runner but fail to score. Played 4.5 from Maryvale, 2-0 Milwaukee.
We didn't think the unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks lunch at Olive Garden could get any better until
we've added new chicken and gnocchi soup.
So we shared all we wanted, all for just $6.95.
Same time next week.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes.
Only at Olive Garden.
Extreme 3, the only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips to contour to your face for an extremely smooth, comfortable shave. Schick Extreme 3, free your skin.
Does your mouthwash work in 6 different ways? Introducing Listerine Total Care. It gives you a cleaner, healthier mouth by fighting unsightly plaque, restoring enamel, strengthening teeth, helping prevent cavities, killing bad breath germs, and freshening your breath. Introducing 6-in-1 Listerine Total Care. No mouthwash is more complete.
I'll call you then. Bye.
Devin?
Cindy, it's been a long time.
Yeah, I'll say. You've got the whole Verizon Wireless network. Mr. Fear of Commitment. It's weird.
Well, they came with my pay-as-you-go plan, so I only pay for them when I use them.
So you haven't changed at all?
No,
Goodbye long-term contracts. Hello, America's largest calling family. Get unlimited talk to more people, use 0 minutes. Plus, get this Samsung for just $19.99 at select retailers and Verizon Wireless.
Bob and Tom, weeknights at 12 East, 9 West on WGN America.
Still 2-0. And a new pitcher for the Cubs, left-hander Jason Waddell. And he'll face a pinch hitter, Lorenzo Cain. Not bad for Narvison.
There goes the scorecard. Doesn't take long in a spring training game, especially early in camp when the rosters are full and guys are limited in the number of pitches they can throw, and some of the position players have extra work to do. So you get them out of there after a couple of at-bats and send them to a backfield, let them take a little extra BP.
Called strike. Fastball in there. A lot of fans like to keep score when they come to the ballpark. Cain is in the back of the book. Page 245 of the Milwaukee Media Guide. 17th round pick in 2004. Went to Tallahassee Community College. Born in Valdosta, Georgia, right near the Georgia-Florida border.
And I think it'd be kind of interesting to point out to fans, you know, there's several players on both major league rosters that are not in attendance today, and they didn't get a day off. Those guys probably work harder on days they're not in the lineup of a spring training game than the days when they do play. Take that opportunity to get some extra defensive work, or maybe a little extra work in the cage, whatever the case may be. Hit the weight room. If you have a little nagging injury, you need to see the trainer. But most of the time when you see a regular on the big league roster that's not in a spring training game, that doesn't mean he's off. He's putting in a hard day's work. You just don't see him out there on the field.
That's the first walk issued by either team. So Cain is on. Ricky Weeks coming up. And we have Cubs Vice President, General Manager Jim Hendry with us in the booth. Jim, great to see you as always. How you doing?
Good to see you guys. Doing great.
Well, spring training, 39 games, longer camp than normal. And as we were talking with Randy Bush, obviously health is the #1 issue. You have a lot of guys in the World Baseball Classic you're keeping an eye on. But your thoughts in general in the first few weeks of camp?
Well, it's gone well just from the fact that we're healthy. Our pitching that we're counting on is very healthy. And, you know, we don't want to get in the mindset of moaning and groaning how long the camp is and how many games we have. We're going to try to turn into a positive that the jobs that are open, it's going to give guys extra time to prepare and try to win jobs. Take a look at the depth that we have, and also give our young people. Lenny, that's 2 plays.
Just 2. Yeah. I can't go to my right or
that's
my
okay.
left.
You really weren't very aggressive there either.
I was riveted to your analysis, Jim.
Yeah, you didn't get after that. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I know better. But anyhow, you know, we've got a lot of players like, say, Darwin Barney. This kid's going to play shortstop, you know, 15 or 20 times, parts of some games this year that he never would have before, and it's a good opportunity for him to show not only the front office but Lou and his staff that they belong down the road. And Lou has proven the last couple of years that the guys that do well in spring training, that he likes to come up and give them a shot later in the year, and they get to play.
Well, that's a great point. You get a chance to see the minor league players if you take a trip during the season, but the coaching staff, the big league staff, they don't. And
yeah.
So this is the impression these kids can make.
Absolutely.
That one missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, Jim, talking about the World Baseball Classic, and you know, guys get invited to play on teams, and as we saw right up until the time the games have started here, some of the guys dropped out, other guys are invited. How does that process work? Do they contact you? Do they contact the players? How does that work?
Yeah, well, you know, they're certainly invited, you know, before camp starts, and what happens, obviously what's going on now is some players agree to go, and then they get to camp and change their mind, they don't want to go, and vice versa. There's some guys that are on a secondary list that all of a sudden an opportunity opens up, like Ted Lilly. Ted basically was told that if you come, you'll be a starter, and if he wasn't going to be a starter, Ted didn't want to go. He wanted to stay in his routine. So I think as of now, Ted's going to pitch like the third game, I think, in the rotation. You know, some of the other guys from other countries like Marmol, and they're put in tough spots. You know, he really, you know, part of him wanted to represent his country, which we're all in favor of. Part of him wanted to stay in camp and stay in his routine. So it's I think the concept that you know, is very good. You know, I'm in favor of the game is so global now, and you'd like to do things like this. It's just one of those things you have to work around until we can find the perfect solution when the right time of year to do it is, or is this the best we can do? I don't know yet.
Runner at second. Weeks struck out as Kane stole second base. There's always a lot of focus on the pitching staff. Once again, your roster has a lot of good depth.
Yeah, we feel good about that, and it's still early, but like I said, a lot of the guys who are counting on are throwing the ball very well, and we can start to see the competition that's going to take place in the bullpen, and the guys that aren't the fifth starter are going to shuffle into the bullpen nicely, and it's a little early to say, hey, which guy's going to be in what role, but we're very happy with, like, some of the new people like Heilman's throwing the ball very, very well, and Sean Marshall's throwing the ball well, and yeah, Kevin Gregg. So, you know, we're very happy about the pitching staff. I know Larry and Lou are very happy about Rich Harden's progress, and you'll see him in a game here this next week. So, yeah, as long as our pitching's healthy and we have enough depth to get through the season out of that bullpen, then we'll have a good ball club.
I think you have an interesting, good, tough decision with Sean Marshall. He's been a victim of his own success in that he's done everything the club has asked him to do and has been successful in every role, but he also would like to be a starter, as most pitchers in his spot would be. So it could come down to how he pitches in spring and what the ball club needs.
Absolutely. And all the guys in that role are in the same boat. Aaron Heilman the same way. He could be very effective for us in the seventh, or he could be very effective in the 5 spot. Chad Godin has started 34 games in 1 year before for Oakland, and then pitched well out of the pen last year. And then, of course, you know, Samardzija, you can't count him out of anything. So, you know, let's let the chips fall where they do in the next 3 or 4 weeks, and let's not outthink ourselves and try to figure it out on March the 7th.
Oh, but that's what Cub fans and media and everyone around the team, they try to do, which you certainly understand.
Yeah.
But you're right. You just have to let it play out. And Bob knows this, too. You make a decision on March 7th. March 10th, it could look different.
Absolutely.
You just don't know.
Absolutely. Like I tell people, yesterday I was telling people, look, a year ago, we were still 2 weeks away from even having Reed Johnson in camp. So a lot of things happen, and guys will win jobs or lose out on jobs to somebody else, and what we'll try to do is you know, head to the opening day with the best 25, and you know, shortly after that, if people you know, if you make a decision isn't right because somebody fooled you in spring training, or which always happens, then you just make the adjustment along the way. We're going to go through 18 or 19 pitchers this year, and a lot of guys are going to get a chance from Double and Triple A to come up and help the big league club.
You know, Jim, this is our 3rd game on WGN TV this spring, and we have yet to see Milton Bradley. I know they're being very careful with the injury. How's he doing right now?
He's doing fine. You know, he got a couple at bats yesterday, got a base hit, swung the bat well, and he'll start tomorrow. It was strictly nothing to do with television. It was just, you know, he played yesterday, so he didn't travel today, and he'll start tomorrow. But he's doing fine. I think guys are very happy with him, and I think he's going to be a big boost to our offense.
Barney, ranging to his right, was going to be a tough play, and he dropped it, and I believe that'll be a hit for J.J. Harding. 1st and 3rd with 2 outs with Prince Fielder coming up. And not only the World Baseball Classic, but just scouting other teams, I know, is a huge process throughout spring training.
Yeah, and we have scouts in Florida, you know, 5 or 6 full-time guys there, and 5 or 6 out here in Arizona scouting. They're at ball games every day, and that's how we came up with Reed Johnson last year. We really set out with the spring to come up with a right hitting outfielder that could play center, and our scouts, Mark Service in particular, down in Florida, did a great job on Reed, and that's what you do. And just like today, there's probably 10 scouts scouting us. I think people feel we have some excess in the bullpen, and some clubs that are a little short will be probably contacting us near the end of camp to see if they can make a deal with us too. So it's the trade things go both ways.
Good matchup here for Waddell facing Prince Fielder.
Yeah, this is great. This kid's really come into camp and done well. Oneri Fleta signed him as a 6-year free agent in the offseason, and he's been good so far in camp. 2 or 3 solid outings, and like I said, this will be a big out for him to get.
Jim, I want to ask you about the rules changes, and again, this may not affect the Cubs at all, but no more coin tosses with the tiebreakers, and then you have the official change in the postseason regarding games being played all the way to the finish. We can ask the commissioner about that, but I kind of like that it's based on merit, and if you beat a team 11 out of 12 times during the season, you'd hate to lose a coin toss for game 163.
No, I'm in favor of the change, and I certainly am in favor of playing the playoff games out till a conclusion. I don't think you should have 5 or 6 inning playoff games, and I'm certainly in favor of going head to head as always the first tiebreaker.
Soriano on the move. He will get there and make the catch. Jim, always a pleasure. Looking forward to watching the 2009 version of the Chicago Cubs.
Thanks guys. Appreciate it.
It's the trial of the century.
I have no comment. I have a comment. Check out my website, DennyCraneLaw.com. I also have a blog on MySpace. Tell your daughters.
On Boston Legal Weekends. Tonight at 7 East, 4 West. Out of Sight Retro Night. Sunday at 5 East, 2 West on WGN America.
Yeah. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. Sing it. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young.
Every generation refreshes the world.
Cool.
To prove you can dust less often with Pledge, we've placed Mary in this glass box and asked her to clean one side of this table with Pledge and the other with a dry dust rag. And now, we wait a week.
A week?
1 week later, and the Pledge side with its unique anti-dust formula looks less dusty.
It does.
Thanks, Mary.
Can I come out now?
Looks so good you can dust less often. That's the beauty of Pledge. ST Johnson, a family company.
And yeah, with this GE profile, you get smart dispense technology, H2 weight sensors, and it's Energy Star rated. And I'm thinking you might like the color. Yeah.
More top brands than anyone. Find the one most perfect for you. Now through Friday, March 13th. Get 15% off all appliances, plus save on a whole lot more. For more, see Sears.com. Sears Blue Appliance Group.
Time to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. Spring training, a time for everybody to get their arms in shape, including my partner. Fired a strike to a young fan in a Cubs cap. Nice throw, nice catch. That's today's Have a Ball, thanks to the Illinois Lottery. Yeah, partner, you're mid-season ready. Fired a strike down there.
Throwing okay, not going after the line drives very well. Carlos Villanueva, right-hander, facing a Ramos Ramirez. Cubs trying to get something going. They trail 2-0 here in the 6th inning. A couple of defensive changes for the Brewers. Craig Counsell's now playing short, and Kane staying in and playing center. And it is a pleasure to have with us the Commissioner of Baseball, Bud Selig. Commissioner Selig, thanks so much for the time today, and we're all from the Midwest. Beautiful day. Great to be out here today.
Yeah, we are, and this is a magnificent day. Len, Bob, nice to see you both. I couldn't wait to come and see a ball game, and it's a pleasure to be here. And what a day. Not a cloud in the sky, and a typical Arizona day. Take this an opening day at Wrigley, won't you?
Absolutely.
No question about it. We'll get the economy question out of the way right off the bat. It is encouraging to see basically a full house here, and I know that you have some concerns about the economy.
Well, Len, Bob, I do. Look, this is the most significant economic downturn since the Great Depression. I don't think there's any doubt about it. I've been monitoring things very, very closely. Some clubs are doing very well, like the Cubs. Milwaukee, I know, had a huge day last week, the biggest day in history, and they're doing well, and other clubs are doing quite well, and then there are some clubs that are struggling. But look, the economy is really struggling, so I'm not surprised. But it looks like we should have a spectacular season. I like the way the races are shaping up in all the divisions, and so I'm optimistic.
Ramirez with a line shot base hit. George Will, I know a good friend of yours and a big Cub fan. I spent some time with him the other day, and he said one of his theories about when the economy is like this, he said you fall back on comfort food. And he said, I think baseball is comfort food. That was
well, I do talk to him almost every day, and he believes that, and I think that that's right. I think that we're just, this is such a struggle, and the news every day is so tough that we've never been through anything like this, but I'm very confident. And you know, the thing that makes me feel good, guys, is the clubs have really been receptive. We had 15 clubs kept their prices the same, 6 cut, and 9 raised their prices, but only mildly in some areas. So I just feel good about where we are.
Bobby Scales is running for Ramirez, who is done for the afternoon.
Mr. Seelig, I'd like to get your impressions. Len and I talked about it a little bit earlier today. This Brewers-Cubs rivalry used to just be a nice little regional rivalry because of the proximity, but it has really developed into a legitimate rivalry.
You know, I remember when, Bob, when we talked about this in the 90s, and I said to Andy McPhail at the time, this is going to turn into a really tough, intense rivalry. And that's exactly what it's turned into, and it's great. It's really tremendous. And as last year with both clubs having really good years, and this year looks like the same. There's no question this is going to be one of baseball's great rivalries. This will be, I think, you know, it needs a few more years of history, but this will turn into Cub, Cardinal, Dodger, Giant, Red Sox, Yankee. I mean, this is really good. And you know, you sort of dream that someday you have the last series of the year between these two clubs, and they're dead even, and you can imagine the intensity of that experience.
2 strikes on Michael Hoffpower with Commissioner Bud Selig. Bobby Scales running for Aramis Ramirez. Tying run at the plate. Long pause by Villanueva, and that is high, 1-2. Well, the jarring revelation, as everyone knows, regarding A-Rod, and he admitted that he did take performance-enhancing drugs in the early part of this decade. And I guess simply, what's your assessment of how baseball has handled it, and moving forward, how do you feel about the current program?
Well, I tell you how I feel about it. It's I think one thing that often is not talked about, Len, Bob, is we've done everything. A minor league program is 9 years old. We've reduced the usage in the minor leagues from 9.1% to about 0.5%. There have only been 8 positive tests in the big leagues. We banned amphetamines, which, Bob, you will admit have been around for a long, long time. We have a Department of Investigation. We've just done a lot of things that are really... So if somebody said, well, baseball didn't do anything, they had their head in the sand, all that isn't true. We you know, the minor league program, as I said, is 9 years old. The fact that we've moved as quickly as we have, this is a subject of collective bargaining, so, you know, it has a process to go through. But I'm comfortable where we are. And, you know, I want to say this to you. The Mitchell report, which I know is either on my side or on the Players Association, neither party was very happy except me. And I went ahead and did it because there's nothing to hide. And we've adopted all of his recommendations. So we're living in a different world today. Everybody is tested. Every package that comes into the clubhouse. I mean, this is a different world. So for people to say, look, we don't have a test for human growth hormone, and that bothers me. There isn't a test. We're funding a lot of programs with the National Football League and the United States Olympic Committee. So if you look at the totalitarian part of our program, Len and Bob, we've really, I mean, we've made enormous progress. I meet with great regularity with the professional athletic trainers, including the Cub trainer. In fact, I met on January 20th in Milwaukee, where I gave them all credit for coming to Milwaukee in the middle of January. But they keep assuring me we're okay. I talk to the team doctors all the time, and I feel very comfortable telling both of you that we've made dramatic progress. And at this sport, except for the human growth hormone, and there isn't a test for the human growth hormone, has done remarkably well. And if we hadn't insisted on drug testing, Len and Bob, in 2002, the whole A-Rod story and all these other things wouldn't be out. It's because we have testing that these stories are now out.
That's a strike on Fontenot, 2-1. I guess the only thing I would say, and I know you're a student of history, as am I, is it's uncomfortable to get into the conversations about the Hall of Fame, who did what when, and I'm sure that does bother you as you look back. And I know the goal of baseball now is to look forward, which is absolutely the right thing to do. But these are tricky conversations.
Well, they are, Len. But the only part I would disagree with that, and Bob will understand this too. My historian for many years was Jerome Holtzman. And I said to Jerome, and who tragically has passed away now, but I said to him about 2 years ago, go back into the 30s and let's take each decade and look at all the things that have happened. And I guess there's no sense in hiding it. In the 80s, we had a very serious cocaine problem. You had the Pittsburgh drug trials. You had 4 players went to jail. You had a series of uncomfortable things, and yet they couldn't get drug testing. Peter Ubroth tried, Fay Vincent tried, and they couldn't. So here we are with the first drug testing program in our history, with all the other things that have gone on. And there are people, Whitey Herzog said the other day that he thought the cocaine era was more serious than the steroid era. I don't want to have that debate. I know we take this very seriously, and we are going to look for it. But you know, look. Steroids are not a baseball problem. They're a societal problem. They're part of our life. And so, but at least we have dealt with it now. We'll continue to deal with it. And I can't wait for the day that we test for human growth hormone, Len, because then I think we'll be able to say that we've released on the knowing. You know, the chemists are out working. I'm not deluding myself. There will be other things. But we've hired the leading experts in this country, and they feel very confident and comfortable where we are.
That's a great point. Every era has had its issues. And,
right.
As you've said many times, when you look at the attendance of Major League Baseball, I mean, this game is as strong as it's ever been.
It's more popular than it's ever been. We've set attendance records, as you both know. Our gross revenues have exploded. But none of that makes it more concerned.
And they get Scales. Can you hang for a little bit more? We appreciate it. Commissioner Bud Selig with us. It's 2-0 Milwaukee.
Join Donnie McClurkin, Dorinda Clark Cole, and Sinbad for the 24th Annual Stellar Gospel Music Awards. Don't miss it.
Tonight at 8 on WGN America.
You do get a hint of drinkability right away.
Does my pen have writability?
Come on, people. We gotta focus. We're not leaving until we've met our budget. We need ideas.
We could cut back on marketing.
We could eliminate bonuses. How about we stop buying Bud Light for every meeting?
It's the only beer with just the right taste. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
It was a joke!
I absolutely love playing badminton. Started playing after 30 years again, and it's wonderful. It keeps me young. My shoulder sometimes hurts, and my doctor said I was overusing my knees. And I said, well, that's not the answer I want to hear. A leave makes me pain-free, so I can move on the court. And you can't play this game if you can't move on the court and get to the bird and return it. I'm Anne-Marie Donahoe, and with a leave, I'll never stop playing badminton.
It's the AutoZone Rewards Card, and it's free to every AutoZone customer. It's simple. The more you shop at AutoZone, the more rewards you earn. So get your free rewards card today. It's our way of saying we're proud to have you as a customer. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Daddy, the truck's here.
When you want more cargo room, Enterprise will pick you up.
We're making a playhouse.
And get you on your way to special memories.
How's it going? Finished.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Turn on your TV. Sundays to WGN America.
Don't touch that dog.
It's Out of Sight Retro Night. Sunday at 5 East, 2 West. Only on WGN America.
We're with Commissioner Bud Selig. It's the Cubs and the Brewers spring training action, and wherever you are, we're glad you're with us today. We were talking during the break about the MLB Network, which I know you're very proud of. The website, MLB.com. Of course, Cubs.com has been very successful. Right. And can you talk about the Major League Baseball media properties?
Well, I'm really very proud of them. You know, you think of our network, we started with 50 million households. Nobody has ever started with that before. I mean, it's really unheard of. And if you're a fan, once you start watching it, it's really addictive. I love the history. I love watching games. I'm sure you do from years ago. It brings back a lot of memories. They're covering everything up to date. And, of course, our internet company, BAM, has been just an amazing success. So I feel we're really positioned as media life changes in both ways. We're actually ahead of the other sports, and I'm very proud of that.
Cub fans watching want to know what's the update on the Cubs sale.
Well, that's, you know, the Ricketts family, a very fine family, and I think will be great owners, are in negotiations with the Tribune Company now, so they're having conversations, and hopefully sooner than later they're going to come to me so we can get this thing done, because it'll be great for everybody to move forward.
You know, the interesting thing is the announcement of the impending sale came on opening day. It was Lou Piniella's first game as a Cubs manager in 2007 in Cincinnati.
Well,
it's a long process, but all of these are, right?
Yeah, well, and given the economy and everything that's happened, Len, I guess, Bob, I guess we shouldn't be surprised. But it is time to move forward now, and hopefully we will.
This is the Rule 5 pick, David Patton, and ball one outside to Corey Hart. World Baseball Classic underway.
Very exciting today. I watched, I'm stunned. The Netherlands beat the Dominican Republic. And if you saw the ninth inning, the Dominican Republic looked stunned too. It was terrific. And at last count, the United States was beating Canada 6-4. Gordash and Doug Melvin were my sources. Of course, they're both Canadians, so they were sad. But it's in a big crowd, a very competitive game.
Swing and a miss. Hart is out. We mentioned earlier the Cubs and the Brewers both made the playoffs last year. You haven't been involved with the Brewers ownership in a while, but you were for 3.5 decades. It had to feel personally gratifying to you to see the Brewers get back to the postseason.
Well, it was, Len, and you were in Milwaukee where we went through all the stadium battles.
That's right.
And it was tense and unpleasant and everything else, but very proud of walking into Miller Park before the Philly Brewer playoffs and all the excitement. And I thought back to all that, and it's a wonderful. It was really wonderful. And the Brewers have a very, very good young club, as do the Cubs. So these two teams ought to battle each other now for a long time to come.
Both teams drew over 3 million fans.
Think of that.
In 2008, and in the Brewers' case, the first time in franchise history.
That's absolutely right. Think of that. I mean, it's really remarkable when you think city of Milwaukee size drawing over 3 million people. And, of course, the Cub franchise, and I'm not saying it because I'm talking to you guys today, because there is something. I've been a Cub fan in a lot of ways since the early 40s. My first trip to Wrigley Field was 1944. And there's something about Wrigley. I get the same thrill walking in today that I did back then. And that's what makes it such a special place. And this franchise such a really, really special franchise.
1-2 on Trot Nixon. We asked Jim Hendry about the rules changes, and both seem to be pretty much no-brainers, no coin tosses when it comes to tiebreaker games. Right. And you now have formally, as Nixon takes a called third, changed the postseason rule. You were not going to let Game 5 end before 9 innings, but now it's officially written in, more clear, correct?
Well, that's right. It is, and I said at the time I was going to use common sense. Now, it's one thing about being in Philadelphia. You know, they're especially the media, they're a little outspoken, but the fact of the matter is that you can't let any World Series game, let alone a decider, potential decider, the 5th game, end in 5 or 5.5 innings, and I knew that all along. You know, the weathermen kept telling us we could get it in, and turns out we couldn't. And when the umps finally stopped the play, I said to everybody, even that evening as the game was going on, we're going to play 9 innings. I joked at the press conference, even if we have to stay till Thanksgiving, which was not a great thought, but we're going to stay here until we get the game in. But it all worked out. Actually, that Wednesday night, the last 3.5 innings were very dramatic. I must say they were. But anyway, we changed the rule just to make sure that we never faced that problem.
Well, the thing about baseball, we talk about it all the time, don't we, Bob? You'll always see something that you haven't seen before, and Something comes up and you go, I wonder what the rule is on that. Commissioner Seelig, thanks so much for the time.
Pleasure to be with both of you, and I'll look forward to see you during the year.
Little taste of home as we roll to break. The sausage race here in Arizona, 2-0 goal.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Refresh everything. Visit refresheverything.com.
Yeah. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young.
Every generation refreshes the world.
Cool.
That's the money you could be saving with Geico. What? I know. Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
So for our friends and family, we're choosing my golf buddies.
My best friend, Christina. My cousin's in Wisconsin.
And her. She's unlisted. Okay, Seth.
So we can call them no matter what network they're on without using your minutes.
Introducing Friends and Family from Verizon Wireless. Unlimited calling to any 10 numbers, anywhere in America, anytime. And right now, save 50% on our best Samsung devices.
Thanks to Commissioner Bud Seelig for joining us. Still 2-0. You got to have eyes in the back of your head here in spring training.
You know, it's early in spring for the players, but not for the grounds crew. They've been working out all winter. Heads up, Mike Lamb. Grounds crew coming out to drag the infield between innings. Almost got a piece of the Brewers' third baseman. Those guys are quick.
That is Casey McGee now at third base. Former Cub. Lots of changes. Not on the mound, however. Reed Johnson skies one down the left field line, and he hit it foul.
Just a little out in front of an off-speed pitch. It was up in the zone. Reed knew it was foul the moment it left his bat. Players can tell a lot quicker than the fans in the ballpark, or the broadcasters for that matter. That had a nice trajectory coming off the bat, but he was way out in front of that pitch.
Fouled off. Cubs with a single in every inning, and yet no runs.
Very gracious of Commissioner Bud Seelig to spend some time with us here in the booth. Len, nice job with the interview there. I wanted to ask Commissioner Seelig, and you know, I just didn't feel like the right time. I didn't want to interrupt the train of thought there, but the one real unfortunate group of victims I feel in the so-called steroid era are all the players, the overwhelming majority of the players who did not use performance-enhancing drugs, and they will forever be lumped in the so-called steroid era, and I think that is just a crime.
That's a great point.
And I don't know that there's anything you can do about it. There's obviously, you know, it's gone and done, and but it's just unfortunate that a lot of tremendous baseball players who accomplished great things throughout the course of their careers, unfortunately their careers coincided with some guys who weren't so savory, and they will forever be identified as part of the steroid era, and I think that's just a crime.
Here's Mark Johnson.
But Commissioner Seelig brought up a great point. Throughout baseball, break it up into whatever eras you want to. There were problems forever. There's always been a shady side of the game of baseball. The Black Sox scandal, going all the way back to those days. I know back in the 60s they had a substance called red juice. A lot of players partook of red juice, which apparently was some kind of an amphetamine type of a product. There were amphetamines, there was cocaine, steroids seems to be the era that we're in right now. Baseball has never been immune from the problems of society, but because everybody loves the game so much, it seems like baseball has always been held to a higher standard than we even hold our society to.
I think we both agree that, we'd just like to keep the focus on the field and hopefully get past all this. And one thing that'll probably come up when we see the Phillies, J.C. Romero received a suspension. He claims he purchased an over-the-counter supplement. But I guess I would say in that case, Bob, that it's probably tough, and I think that's ultimately what they decided. You just have to pay very close attention to anything you put in your body because you will get tested. To the count on Johnson. Cubs with more hits than the Brewers. They have 6 to Milwaukee's 5. But they trail where it counts 2-0, and Johnson strikes out.
Well, if they come up for a test with a test for glazed donuts, I'm in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Have you had a brat yet today? I'm sure there's a brat stand somewhere.
Now that's a silly question, isn't it? Of course I did. You're playing the Brewers, you got to have a brat.
You got to have a brat.
Play the Phillies, you got to have a cheesesteak.
The pitch to Barney. Missing ball 1.
This is one of the more aromatic ballparks in the entire Cactus League. I guess it's just our position here in the press box, but boy, every concession stand, every barbecue joint, it's just, it all comes right up here to the booth. My mouth has been watering all afternoon.
I didn't know what barbecued caramel corn smelled like until we came here. Well, you can get a cheesesteak here.
Yes, indeed. All part of the experience.
A little bit below the knees. 2-1. Kettle corn. Now there's the brat.
Yes, indeed.
Jumbo dog. Through the hole on the right side. And Barney is 1 for 3. Third hit of the spring. It's a fist bump from Matt Sinatra, the first base coach.
Well, we've seen Darwin Barney spray foul balls from every section of this ballpark, from the left field side to the right field side, and that time keeps it between the white lines, finds that hole in the right side of the infield for a base hit.
Breaking ball strike. If you just joined us, Carlos Zambrano gave up 4 hits and 2 runs in his 3 innings. Committed a key throwing error, allowing one of their 2 runs to score. But overall, threw the ball well. No walks, 5 strikeouts.
I think the best indication of how well Zambrano threw the ball, Dalen, and you pointed this out, was his pace on the mound. It's not too hard to figure out when Carlos is feeling out of sorts out there on the mound. Takes a lot more time between pitches, steps off the rubber, but when he's feeling good and he feels like his arm is in a good place and his delivery's in a good place, he works extremely fast.
First at bat for Jake Fox. He's now playing first base. 2-1.
Well, as a manager, those are the little things, and sometimes they become bigger things, but the things you have to notice, because players, as I've said many times, will never tell you the truth. You ask any player, how you feel? I feel great. I feel great. I'm good. I can play. I can pitch. Yeah, but if you watch their body language, if you watch the way they go about an at-bat or an inning on the mound, their body will tell you. The way they react out there will tell you how they really feel.
McGee tosses to Scott Thorman, now playing first, and yet again a hit, no runs for the Cubs. Sounds like a broken record. The stretch here in Maryvale, 2-0 Brewers.
2 supernatural super blondes and 1 back-to-back hour of magical mayhem. Bewitched.
I'm a witch.
And I Dream of Jeannie.
No kidding, really? Of course, Master.
Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. Weekdays starting at 2 East, 11 West.
Why did I not think of that?
Hello, America. As your Secretary of Taste, I'm implementing a taste stimulus package, and Domino's American Legends are the cornerstone. So whether you're some yoga babe who digs tasty veggies or a lumberjack craving steak and 40% more cheese. Hello, Mr. President. Tell them taste is on the way. Ask not what your crust can do for you. Ask if it has cheese on it.
Introducing Domino's American Legends. 6 legendary American tastes like the Pacific Veggie and Honolulu Hawaiian, each with a cheesy crust. From Domino's.
Extreme 3, the only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips that contour to your face for an extremely smooth, comfortable shave. Schick Extreme 3, free your skin.
New Glade Sense and Spray. It's the first air freshener to use a motion sensor, so it doesn't waste fragrance.
How can I be sure it won't waste fragrance?
Glade Sense and Spray is motion activated, so it only freshens when you need it. Unlike Freshmatic that wastes fragrance spraying around the clock. Stop wasting fragrance with motion-activated Sense and Spray.
It's new. And yes, it's Glade.
S.C. Johnson Family Company.
Time for today's Bud Light Fan Cam. We're in the Southwest, so here's Hotel Arizona by Wilco. Today's Bud Light Fan Cam from the Chicago guys. Wilco, just the right taste. Bud Light, just the right taste that never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. Patton is still working, facing Jonathan Lucroy, who is in for Jason Kendall. Put it this way, Lucroy has been in the ballgame for at least an inning. I saw him behind the plate in the top of the 7th. That's as specific as I can get.
Yeah, the Brewers have a couple of catchers dinged up here early in spring training. Mike Rivera out with a strained right hamstring, and Angel Salome has a back strain. So the catchers who do remain on the roster figure to get a lot of playing time behind Jason Kendall this spring.
1-2 pitch, rides high, 2-2. Paul Bacco into the game without the big bandage on the nose.
That's one thing. You better have plenty of catchers in camp.
You speak from experience.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's always bullpens to be caught and side sessions and simulated games. Cubs are very fortunate to have a couple of bullpen catchers to warm up the pitchers for the game, but you can never have too many of those guys with the tools of excellence.
Is that what they call them?
That's what I call them.
Random trivia, guy at the plate and the guy behind the plate went to the same college. 2 different names, though. It was University of Southwestern Louisiana when Paul Bacco was there, and now it's the University of Louisiana Lafayette. You think they know that? Went to different schools, but it was the same place.
Well, given the fact they're both catchers, there's a chance they might know that.
I'm sure they do. Paul Bacco's about 14 years older than Jonathan LaCroix. I'm guessing they weren't in college around at the same time.
Probably not. And Jonathan LaCroix probably said, well, I grew up watching you. Thanks, kid.
So LaCroix bounces out to Scales. Speaking of that, I was looking at a media guide. I don't remember the player, but it said he grew up going to Giants games at AT&T Park.
Ooh, man.
That's a young baseball player.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's one of the more humbling things that you go through in your career as a player when you get towards the twilight of your career and some of these young guys come into camp and they say, geez, I remember you watching you play when I was in 6th grade. Say that, kid.
Lorenzo Cain at the plate. Well, the first Cub born in the 80s to appear on a major league roster was Carlos Zambrano. So we'll see who the first Cub born in the 90s will end up being. It won't be too far down the road.
You know who gets me with that all the time is Ted Lilly. Ted Lilly grew up in Northern California, a big San Francisco Giants fan back during my playing days, and he talks about going to Candlestick Park and sitting out in the cold wrapped in blankets and watching me play.
And he's a veteran now.
He's a veteran. I can take it from Ted.
More bare feet on this sunny afternoon.
There ought to be a law.
God's favorite.
That's why they invented shoes. Yeah, talking about catchers, you rarely see a catcher ever take his shoes off because it's not a pretty sight. Too many foul balls, you know, just toenails are missing and toes don't go the direction they're supposed to. Catchers don't like to show their feet.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. 5 up, 5 down for David Patton.
David Patton getting an opportunity to show what he can do. He's opened some eyes down here in spring training. We talked about it in Las Vegas last week. Lou's been very impressed by some of the young pitchers, whether on the roster or non-roster players here in spring training. And once again, it speaks to the depth that we talk about all the time. And we heard Jim Henry refer to it. It's going to take 18 or 19, maybe more pitchers to get through the regular season this year. So the more depth you can have available at that minor league level, the better your chances.
Rookie Weeks into right center. Full will cut it off, battling the sun a little bit. And Patton with 2 perfect innings. Cubs with 6 outs to work with. They're down 2-0.
So for our friends and family, we're choosing my golf buddies.
My best friend, Christina. My cousins in Wisconsin.
And her.
She's unlisted.
Okay, Seth.
So we can call them no matter what network they're on without using your minutes.
Introducing Friends and Family from Verizon Wireless. Unlimited calling to any 10 numbers, anywhere in America, anytime. And right now, save 50% on our best Samsung devices.
I love playing basketball. I gotta play. I've been playing for 50 years. I'm not gonna stop now. The biggest pain issue I have is my left knee. I had surgery on it about 10 years ago. A lot of times after I played, even sometimes when I haven't played, my knee aches. Sometimes for quite a while. By taking the lead, I know that the pain is going to be greatly reduced or even completely gone during the game. Hi, my name is Richard Miller, and with the lead, I'll never stop playing.
Does your mouthwash work in 6 different ways? Introducing Listerine Total Care. It gives you a cleaner, healthier mouth by fighting unsightly plaque, restoring enamel, germs and freshening your breath. Introducing 6-in-1 Listerine Total Care. No mouthwash is more complete.
Coach, Wednesday at 8 East, 5 West on WGN America.
This is the year, and you have a chance to be at every game. The CBOE Seats Season Ticket Auction will give you that chance. Bid today at the CBOE Seats Season Ticket Auction to win season tickets, including the rights to purchase postseason tickets. The CBOE seats located in the first 3 rows between the Cubs dugout and the bullpen are only available at Cubs.com. The auction ends this Wednesday, so get out there and take care of business.
Also want to remind music fans, the tickets for the Rascal Flatts show with Darius Rucker on July 18th are now on sale. You can visit tickets.com or call 1-800-THE-CUBS. We have 3 shows at Wrigley Field. The other 2, Elton John and Billy Joel, the 16th and 21st of July. Left-hander R.J. Swindle facing the top of the Cubs order. And a very quiet day for the bats. First pitch strike. Brian Schaus, the last few years, was Milwaukee's left-handed specialist. He signed with Tampa Bay in the offseason. So Mitch Stetter would look to be their left-handed specialist. R.J. Swindle getting a look here in spring training as well. No extra base hits for the Cubs. No walks. They've had 1 base runner each inning.
You can live with the fact that your offense isn't drawing many base on balls. A lot of that has to do with the pitching staff that you're facing on a given day. But if you're not drawing the base on balls, you'd like to bunch together some base hits to make some action happen offensively, and the Cubs haven't been able to do that either today.
The wind and the 1-2 pitch. Soriano waited and waited and then hit it foul.
Swing like he throws. Off-speed pitch just floating up there to home plate, and Alfonso swung like he was underwater right there, just trying to stay back long enough to get a piece of that ball and put it in play.
The lefty rocks and fires again. Inside 2-2. Fold on deck. And then Bobby Scales. The pinch ran for Ramirez in the 6th and was caught stealing. The Sun field right now is center. We can figure it out by just looking at the shadows. You see the pitcher Swindle. It's right directly behind him. So Kane out in center. Craig Counsell now at second base. They're going to have a little trouble with anything up in the air. Speaking of which, Kane locating it and catching it.
A perfect example there by Kane of how you use not only the sunglasses to protect your eyes from the sun, but use your glove as well. Blocking that bright sunshine with his glove, held it up there the entire time, shading his eyes, making sure he had a bead on the ball, never moved his glove, never took his eye off the ball. Makes a nice play.
Fauld is 0 for 3. Foul tip, strike 1 on the bunt attempt. Sam with a home run on the spring. He has hit the ball in the air all 3 times. Curveball strike. Kevin Hart up for the Cubs. Somebody else next to him. The cameras can't quite sneak around the railing there. Oh, 2. Counsell and a nice hop at the end.
Well, the bullpens here don't do us much of a favor because we can't see the mounds and tell who's throwing, but great opportunity for the fans hanging over the bullpen. They get a real good view of the pitchers warming up down there before coming into the ball game. I think there's any heckling going on out there.
Looks like a lot of Cub fans there, so
not in the spring training game.
I would hope not. Well, if the law of averages plays out, Bobby Scales is going to hit a single. Keep this inning alive. If he does get on, it would bring the tying run to the plate. Luis Rivas is on deck. Scales is a switch hitter batting righty against the left-hander. He hit a career best .320 with Iowa last year. On base percentage .415. So he'll take his walks. Well, Swindle didn't want the fastball. Didn't want the changeup, didn't want the slider. Two and two.
This is the first time I've seen Swindle, and he's got some deception in his delivery. You mentioned that left-handed specialist role that was formerly filled by Brian Schaus, and you see a lot of left-handed pitchers, maybe who aren't overpowering with their stuff, but they find something that gives them an edge over left-handed hitters, and that drop-down delivery by Swindle, a little bit of a crossfire, makes it extremely tough for left-handed hitters to hang in there. And I guess the big question for him would be, what does he do against the righties? And so far, it's been a tough battle here for Scales.
So you're saying Swindle is a good last name for him?
Yeah.
Deceptive.
I remember when I was managing the Arizona Diamondbacks and we acquired Mike Myers, the side-arming left-hander from the Colorado Rockies in the offseason, and Luis Gonzalez came in my office and thanked me because he didn't have to face him anymore.
McGee spins, throws, and gets Scales. And the former Cub with a nice defensive play. Cubs go down in order for the first time today, but they're being shut out. It's 2-0.
Scrubs, weekdays at 5 East, 2 West on WGN America. It's the trial of the century.
I have no comment. I have a comment. Check out my website, DennyCraneLaw.com. I also have a blog on MySpace. Tell your daughters.
On Boston Legal Weekends. Tonight at 7 East, 4 West.
I absolutely love playing badminton. Started playing after 30 years again, and it's wonderful. It keeps me young. My shoulder sometimes hurts, and my doctor said I was overusing my knees. And I said, well, that's not the answer I want to hear. A leave makes me pain-free, so I can move on the court. And you can't play this game if you can't move on the court and get to the bird and return it. I'm Anne-Marie Donahoe, and with a leave, I'll never stop playing badminton.
Are you paying more than $1.70 a month for phone service? Then you need Magic Jack for just $19.95 a year. $19.95 a year. Magic Jack is signing up over 250,000 customers a month because we give you free local and long distance, your own phone number, voicemail, and directory assistance. Replace your phone company or add a second line with Magic Jack for just $19.95 a year. Go to magicjack.com.
Pollen. When I really like to be outside, I did not like suffering from nasal allergy symptoms like congestion. But Nasonex Relief, may I say, beautiful. Prescription Nasonex is proven to help relieve indoor and outdoor nasal allergy symptoms like congestion, runny and itchy nose, and sneezing.
Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
Hello, my flower.
Ask your doctor about symptom relief with Nasonex.
Beautiful.
The producer of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports is Mark Brady. Skip Ellison is our director. Our associate producer, Doug Stanton. The executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwald. Also, thanks to our technical director, Steve Feinberg, our studio coordinator back at WGN, Christina Ballas. and our entire WGN crew out here in Arizona. Great to work with a lot of old friends here in the Valley. Joey Gathright, speedy outfielder. He's now playing left for Soriano. And pitcher number 5 for the Cubs is lefty J.R. Mathis, facing, believe it or not, Craig Counsell. It doesn't necessarily look like Craig Counsell because his hands are much lower than they normally are in his stance.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize Craig Counsell today, and I've seen Craig Counsell take a lot of at-bats over the course of his career. He was hitting off the tee behind home plate during batting practice, and I didn't know who it was. I had to see the back of his jersey before I realized it was Craig Counsell. Apparently, when Dale Swain was named the hitting instructor for the Milwaukee Brewers this year, Craig Counsell called him and said, "Okay, what do you got for me?" And Dale Swain said right away, "Drop your hands." I mean, that's the position where Craig Counsell's hands would end up after starting with that high bat. But if you're going to end up with your hands right there, why not just go ahead and start with them there? And that's what Craig Counsell has done so far this spring, and he's having a real good spring down here in the Cactus League.
I would say so. He's hitting 600, 9 for 15.
That's pretty good.
Dale Swain managed the final dozen games. They went 7-5 and won the wild card. He took over for Ned Yost. A quiet offensive day for both teams. The 2 runs scored on an infield hit. One via the error by Zambrano. Inside out swing, and that's rolled foul.
Well, we talked about it briefly in Las Vegas last week, Len, but I think if you watch the box scores and you watch the final scores as spring training progresses, I think you'll see those numbers start to climb up even more and more. The pitchers are traditionally ahead of the hitters early in spring training. And as you get deeper into spring, you get more used to seeing the live pitching on a regular basis. And as the pitchers start to work deeper in the ball game and you get 2 or 3 or 4 at bats against the same guy in one day, I think you'll see the offensive numbers start to creep up there. They usually do.
Counsell draws a free pass. Well, Milwaukee scored 17 runs yesterday against Cleveland. And they came in with an on base of 367 and slugging .512. They lead this one 2-0. Scott Thorman from the Atlanta Brave is playing first base. The pitch by Mathis. Fly ball, shallow center, and a base hit. Counsell stops at second. And a pinch hitter, Matt Gamble, third base prospect. He has been recovering from a right shoulder impingement. And back in there today.
I hate it when you get impinged. It's just the worst.
Speaking of which, how's the knee?
Day to day. I think we would have been better served just to put a tap on it like a keg. Had a little bit of fluid problems in the left knee, but nothing I can't play through, partner.
Infield at double play depth. 0-2.
This really couldn't have worked out any better for Mathis. A string of 4 consecutive left-handed hitters to start off this bottom half of the 8th inning. Unfortunately, Counsell drew the walk. Thorman with the base hit into center. Now has a chance to put away Gamble before facing the on-deck hitter Nelson.
'16th round pick out of Western Michigan University in 2004. He's from Granger, Indiana. Alfred George Mathis III. Got him. That's the first out.
A two-seam fastball right down the middle of the plate. Caught Gamble looking for something else with a 2-strike count.
That's Brad Nelson. Fox the flip to Mathis. Second and third now with 2 gone. Is there sometimes a benefit for a pitcher, as strange as it to say, to get in a jam and get out of a jam? If you're a reliever, to show your manager, your pitching coach, I'm able to get out of this. I mean, obviously you like to see a 9-pitch 1-2-3 strikeout, strikeout, strikeout inning, but sometimes you have to work out of trouble.
I think you would rather create the problem for the pitcher and have him get out of it.
Sure.
You know, you don't want to see the pitcher create his own problems out there on the mound. And certainly down here in spring training, you have a lot of opportunities to bring guys into a ball game in a situation that you envision them being in during the season. So you'd rather not have the player create his own jam. But yeah, there's something to be gathered from watching how he goes about his business when he's in trouble.
It's crushed by Trot Nixon, but he was out in front and pulled it foul. Nixon trying to find a spot on this club. Former Red Sox and Indian and Met. Had sports hernia surgery last July. Scales will throw him out. So Mathis walks the leadoff man, gives up a single, and then gets out of it. 2-0 as we head to the 9th.
I hear what you're saying. I just don't do commercials. It's not my thing.
Conan, this is different. It's a ton of money, and it's only going to be seen in Sweden.
Only in Sweden?
All the Hollywood guys do this.
This one commercial couldn't hurt.
That wasn't me.
Hey, Conan! Vroom, vroom, body starter!
Party starter.
Is that the hearty chicken rotini diet? It's the Manhattan clam chowder diet.
It's different. It's the turkey noodle diet.
It's working for you.
Counting calories never tasted better because 25 of your favorite Progresso soups are 100 calories per serving.
Is that chicken and wild rice? Yes.
The end of another day working for the man. How about some delicious hamburger helper?
Bring it on.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
And so easy to make. Even your boss could do it.
That is easy.
1 pound, 1 pan, 1 tasty meal.
I own this marathon station, and I'm proud to be part of this community.
These people know me, and I want to take care of them.
It may sound simple, but we work hard to serve you better.
That's the American spirit. And I believe you'll find that at Marathon.
All Marathon gasolines are fortified with STP additives, which help prevent deposit buildup and help maintain fuel economy. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Turn on your TV. Sundays to WGN America.
Don't touch that dial.
It's Out of Sight Retro Night. Sunday at 5 East, 2 West. Only on WGN America.
Join Donnie McClurkin, Dorinda Clark Cole, and Sinbad for the 24th Annual Stellar Gospel Music Awards. Don't miss it.
Tonight at 8 on WGN America.
Back here at Maryvale Baseball Park, west side of Phoenix. And a ton of Cub fans here.
Now pitching for the Brewers.
As the Cubs have 3 outs to go, and they're down 2. Chase Wright is in a save spot, a left-hander. He'll face Luis Rivas as we begin the top of the 9th.
Nice to get that leadoff man on there. The Cubs have had the leadoff batter on 3 times in this ball game, but obviously have yet to push him around and score a run.
Vivas can play second, short, and third. Called strike.
Rivas a little more of a veteran than some of the guys that are battling for roster spots this year, and he showed it right there, taking a 2-0 pitch. His team's down by a couple of runs. He knows right now he just needs to get on base somehow.
Lifted into right, and it's Nixon to haul it in. Great to see Rich and Bob Goldberg, big Cub fans in the ballpark. Bob was telling me he was at the 1929 World Series. A long time ago. Said I'm 95 and I've been a Cub fan since I was 8. Fontenot swings and misses 1-1.
Who do you root for the first 7 years?
I didn't ask. I should have.
Also like to say hello to Alyssa Katz, a huge Cubs fan. Came all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada to catch Cubs baseball here in the Valley this weekend.
To Thorman. It'll go 3-1. Last 6 Cubs have been retired. And it's Brad Snyder. Snyder's now playing right. Cubs got him on waivers from the Indians last September. He does have major league service time, but oh, look out. He's not appeared yet in a major league game.
You ever do that partner roll down the grassy bank somewhere, stand up, dizzy?
Oh, I haven't done it in a while, but I think I did a few times when I was a kid. 3-0. Have you done it recently?
Not intentionally. For some reason, it just isn't as much fun as it used to be.
Inside, tying run coming up. Paul Bacco will get a chance. The first walk Brewers pitching has surrendered today. $10,099 in the ballpark. This is not a matchup we would see if this were a regular season game. Tying run at the plate. The left-hander on the mound. No doubt Lou would go with the right-handed pinch hitter. Ken Maka would probably have a righty up in the pen. Well, we know who'd be pitching for Milwaukee. It'd be Trevor Hoffman.
No doubt.
Chase Wright, a former Yankee. 2 wins in 2007. And he was acquired from the Yankees on February 4th. The kick and the 1-1 pitch. That's a strike. Cubs down to their final swing now. 1-2 on Baco. And that does it. As Wright strikes out Baco to end it. And the Cubs get shut out. And they have now dropped their last 5 in a row. It's 2-0 Milwaukee, your final. And we'll have more from Phoenix in a moment.
The intelligence.
Every time I relax, I fart.
The wisdom. The sophistication. The Bob and Tom Show. Weeknights at 12 midnight East, 9 p.m. West. Only on WGN America. Star Trek, The Next Generation. Tuesday at 7 East, 4 West. On WGN America.
Extreme 3, the only disposable with 3 flexible pivoting blades and 2 conditioning strips to contour to your face for an extremely smooth, comfortable shave. Schick Extreme 3, free your skin.
If you have a history of smoking and breathing problems, it could be COPD, which includes chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or both. Discover Spiriva, the only once-daily inhaled maintenance prescription that treats both forms of COPD. Spiriva significantly improves lung function to help you breathe better for a full 24 hours. And it's not a steroid. Spiriva is not a rescue inhaler. Tell your doctor about your medicines, even eye drops, and illnesses like glaucoma and urinary or prostate problems. These may worsen with Spiriva. The most common side effect is dry mouth. Others include constipation and problems passing urine. In the event your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes, or eye pain, stop taking Spiriva and call your doctor. Spiriva is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor.
Make a habit of breathing better with Spiriva.
When my allergies hit, I've got a great new way to hit back. I get Claritin Clear with new Claritin liquid gels. The first and only non-drowsy allergy medicine with pure liquid power. Claritin liquid gels release a wave of non-drowsy relief for my itchy, watery eyes, sneezing, and runny nose. For powerful relief I can depend on. Claritin liquid gels. It's a great new way to live Claritin Clear.
So for my friends and family, I'm choosing my head coach, Pete. And my nutrition coach, and my strength coach.
We got deltoids today, Pop! Bring it!
And Coach Pete's home number. And this guy.
It's Gilbert. He's English tutor.
So now I can call them no matter what network they're on?
Without using your minutes.
Sweet!
Introducing Friends and Family from Verizon Wireless. Unlimited calling to the numbers you call most, anywhere in America, anytime. And right now, save 50% on our best Samsung devices.
My doctor told me I had to start doing things for my heart, but I wasn't ready to give up taste. Sometimes sacrifice is the name of the game.
Well, I've heard eating whole grain oats can help lower my cholesterol. It's going to be a challenge.
Sure, we want to lower our cholesterol, but let's be real. Being healthy is tough.
Yeah. Honey Nut Cheerio cereal tastes great and can help lower cholesterol.
Be happy, be healthy.
Try new Banana Nut Cheerios with the great taste of real banana.
Here's today's Budweiser play of the game. This was all the scoring partner. It was in the bottom of the second. Lamb with an infield hit. Z throws it away. 2-run score on the play.
Z only gave up 4 hits in his 3 innings of work. Unfortunately, 3 of them came back to back to back in that second run, resulting in the 2 Brewer runs.
The perfect balance of taste and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. Happy birthday. 2-0 the final.
Like that drinkability, huh? Drinkability means Bud Light's easy to drink. See, Bud Light goes down smooth, like this guy here. But other beers go down like this guy. Is that really the best way to make your point? Don't worry, nobody saw that.
The easy drinking taste of Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Trust me, chicks dig this.
I own this marathon station, and I'm proud to be part of this community.
These people know me, and I want to take care of them.
It may sound simple, but we work hard to serve you better.
That's the American spirit. And I believe you'll find that at Marathon.
All Marathon gasolines are fortified with STP additives, which help prevent deposit buildup and help maintain fuel economy. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
This is a strawberry Pop-Tart, and this is the warm, fresh-baked taste of a strawberry toaster strudel. See the difference? Pillsbury Toaster Strudel, the one kids want to eat.
This April, the superstars of World Wrestling Entertainment are coming to WGN America. Your favorite superstars from SmackDown, ECW, and Raw. But before they arrive, they'll battle on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. And you could be there. Register at WGNAmerica.com for a chance to win a trip for two to the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania in Houston, Texas. Then watch WWE on WGN America. WWE Superstars on WGN America this April.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world. Visit refresheverything.com. Check out Ford's exciting new vehicles at ChicagoFordDealers.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Travel Southwest Airlines for business and get where you need to go on time. Visit Southwest.com today.
Our next WGN broadcast of Chicago Cubs baseball will be next Saturday afternoon when the Cubs face the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. From Mesa, Arizona, we'll be at Hohokam Park. Our broadcast begins at 3 o'clock Central Time. Once again, the final today. Milwaukee 2, the Cubs nothing. Stay tuned. The 10th inning show is next.
For the worst allergies, I want a product with the best decongestant. My choice is clear, Claritin D.
Nothing works stronger, faster, or longer to relieve your worst allergy symptoms, including congestion, without drowsiness. Get Claritin D at the pharmacy counter.
Live Claritin Clear.
Right now, Fridays has 10 entrees for just $9.99 each, like zesty sizzling chicken and shrimp or tender sirloin steak. The top 10 menu's the real deal, and no one else has it. Give me the choice of 10 full entrees for $9.99. Give me more Fridays.
Do you two want to sit together?
No, that's just the money I could be saving with Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's the money you could be saving with Geico. You were made for each other. You like money. He likes money. Well, he is money.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Join the Night Watchman as he secures the fortress in an ongoing quest to keep it safe from mediocre television. Travel deep down to the movie underground to screen another movie mind fresh from the vaults. Next Friday, Jerry Springer drops by to offer a no-holds-barred look at his movie Ringmaster.
This is TV you can't ignore.
You can't miss this one. Enter the movie underground next Friday night at 8 East 5 West, right here on WGN America.
Let's go. Damn right, Denny.
On the next Boston Legal Weekends.
Tonight at 7 East 4 West.
Well, the Cubs dropped a 2-0 decision today. Welcome to the 10th inning show. Cubs have now dropped 5 in a row. They'll try to get back on track tomorrow. And I had a chance earlier to chat with Jeff Samardzija, who hopes to be on the big league roster on opening day, whether it's as the 5 starter or in the bullpen. And I asked him how he's feeling so far in spring training.
Feel good. Last time out was yesterday. I felt a lot better than the first time out. I think we're making strides.
slider feels great, and obviously you want to come out right away, you know, on your game. But spring training, you know, you got to come out. It's the first time really in competition. So pitches are coming along, just getting a feel for the splitter, so that's coming along. And obviously the two seams there, just we're losing it up and away a little bit a couple times, so we're working on that. But overall, the arm feels great, and hopefully we can get another shot or two up there and you know, hang some zeros. It'd be nice.
How important was your experience last year, even though you did pitch in relief? And again, we don't know what your role is going to be this year, but how important was it for you to get that big league experience?
Yeah, what happened last year was great. You know, I think coming up in the time I did, in the situation the team was in, and to come up with such a group of guys where they're, you know, they're welcoming, you know, they enjoy young guys coming in, and they didn't mind me coming in some big games and hopefully not messing it up too much. You know, they had such a great year. So just to come in and be a part of that and see how they operated on such a great season, and it kind of wears off, especially as a young guy where you're just like a sponge. You're just trying to soak up as much stuff as possible. So it was a great experience, and obviously you get a taste of it, and you know you just want some more of it. So this year we're looking forward to, you know, just helping the team out any way possible.
You seem like the kind of guy who's not shy to ask a veteran or your pitching coach or the bullpen coach about certain things. Have you learned a lot over the last year in that regard?
Absolutely. I think you know, you grow up your whole career, and a lot of these guys are, you know, they're the best in their, you know, their little league team, their high school team, and so on. And you come up here and you pitch against these lineups that are, you know, 1 to 9, just just bangers. They go up there, hit the ball at the park 1 through 9, or hit it in the gaps, and you just got to be ready to go. And anything you can pick up that helps you out, you know, getting those guys out, you know, you gotta take advantage of it. And a lot of guys on this team, like Dempster and those guys, and D. Lee, and you know, guys like that know the game. You know, you got to pick their brains, or else you're going to be worlds behind. So any chance I get, you know, I'm all ears. I try not to talk too much, and that's a problem sometimes, but I try to be quiet and listen to what they have to say.
No, I was just going to say, I think you really strike a very healthy balance, because for a young player, as you said, sometimes it's better to be seen and not heard. You're not shy about asking, but you know, you have that cachet because of your college football career, yet I think you're very respectful in that clubhouse. It's a little bit of a balancing act, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, I mean, you don't want to step on toes, but then again, you also don't want to miss out. So you know, and these guys are great. You know, these guys aren't here playing for themselves. You know, they're playing for the Cubs, and that's probably the best part about it. It makes a young guy's, you know, ability to go in there and ask questions a whole lot better. If you get a couple guys that are standoffish, you know, and you don't really want to approach them, it's tough to learn. But like I said, these guys welcomed me with open arms ever since, you know, 2 spring trainings ago was my first year, and I had hair down to my shoulders, and it was an ugly scene, but we had a great time, and they laughed about it, and that describes this clubhouse. So that's these kind of guys, and you know, and that's a big reason why I chose to play this sport and play with these guys. It's I couldn't ask for anything better.
It's good to be Jeff Samardzija, isn't it? You're playing for you're basically your hometown team. We had a chance to go to your high school, Valparaiso, in the off season. You live here year round. I know you're very proud to wear this uniform.
Absolutely. You have no idea. I think coming from Notre Dame and understanding that culture, it really helped me get ready for the Cubs culture, which is almost, you know, spitting images of each other. They're passionate fans, and all they want to do is win. So, you know, and as a player, that's all you can ask for. Trust me, there's a world of difference of going out there into playing in front of a packed house, people standing on rooftops, people standing in the street, compared to going out there and playing in front of, you know, open seats. You know, that's no fun. And so play with these Cubs in my hometown, and just to really get a shot to go out and do what we want to do with this team is, trust me, I appreciate every second of it, and I enjoy every second of it.
It keeps you grounded too, I would guess, because you have friends and family you've known your whole life, and then you're not going to get a big head around them, right? They're going to keep you in your place.
Listen, you got to be pretty good at having a big head if you have a big head in Chicago. So either you're really, really good, or you're just really, really naive. So trust me, when you screw up, they let you know. But you know, that's what you need. I mean, my whole life I've grown up, I had an older brother. You know, I had my father, that everyone was pushing me to do the right thing. So I think I've kind of been groomed just to, you know, just kind of hang out, you know, listen to what I have to say and pick my spots. But like I said, with this team, it's easy. It's not difficult to go out and be yourself and strive to get better and strive to help this team.
Last question, a very serious note. Your mother passed away several years ago, and you now have endowed a scholarship at Notre Dame. Can you tell us about that briefly?
Yeah, it was just kind of came out. We talked about it, and then I went back to campus, and it kind of just blew up. Everyone really jumped on board and really kind of leveled with me on what I was trying to do. It wasn't a publicity stunt. It wasn't anything like that. It was just me trying to give back to what people helped me out. When I went through a tough situation, I could go down the list and name hundreds of names that came in and helped me with my family and helped us get through tough times. And if I could somehow do that for a student or an athlete or anyone that's going to that school that you know, has those big bills that Notre Dame loves to shell out to their students, and if we could help out in any way and help them move on and let them learn from what's happened, and hopefully in the end it works out and helps out a handful of people. And you know, you never know how it's going to affect someone or someone that they know, and so it's a lot of fun, and hopefully we can get that thing, you know, in full bore, get going, and hopefully help some kids out and have some fun doing it.
Stuff with Jeff Samardzija. The final today, Milwaukee 2, the Cubs nothing. We'll wrap it up in a moment.
When my allergies hit, I've got a great new way to hit back. I get Claritin Clear with new Claritin liquid gels, the first and only non-drowsy allergy medicine with pure liquid power. Claritin liquid gels release a wave of non-drowsy relief for my itchy, watery eyes, sneezing, and runny nose. For powerful relief I can depend on. Claritin liquid gels. It's a great new way to live Claritin Clear.
So for my friends and family, I'm choosing my head coach, Pete. And my nutrition coach, and my strength coach.
We got deltoids today, Pop! Bring it!
And Coach Pete's home number. And this guy.
It's Gilbert. He's English tutor.
So now I can call them no matter what network they're on?
Without using your minutes.
Sweet!
Introducing Friends and Family from Verizon Wireless. Unlimited calling to the numbers you call most, anywhere in America, anytime. And right now, save 50% on our best Samsung devices.
My doctor told me I had to start doing things for my heart, but I wasn't ready to give up taste. Sometimes sacrifice is the name of the game.
Well, I've heard eating whole grain oats can help lower my cholesterol. It's going to be a challenge.
Sure, we want to lower our cholesterol, but let's be real. Being healthy is tough.
Yeah. Honey Nut Cheerio cereal tastes great and can help lower cholesterol.
Be happy, be healthy.
Try new Banana Nut Cheerios with the great taste of real banana.
This April, the superstars of World Wrestling Entertainment are coming to WGN America. Your favorite superstars from SmackDown, CW, and Raw. But before they arrive, they'll battle on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. And you could be there. Register at WGNAmerica.com for a chance to win a trip for two to the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania in Houston, Texas. Then watch WWE on WGN America. WWE Superstars on WGN America this April.
Once again, the final today, the Brewers 2, the Cubs nothing, and the Cubs are right back at it tomorrow. They'll host Texas in Mesa. Sean Marshall will pitch. Also Monday, Chad Godin, and then it's Rich Harden making his Cactus League debut on Tuesday, and we'll be back with you next Saturday, 3 o'clock Central Time, Cubs and the Angels from Mesa. Enjoy the rest of your weekend right here on WGN.
Are we on the air? You got one day to make it, or you're gone.
I am going to be a TV star.
Yes, I want to be on cable. I believe he means television, sir. That's where all the best work is being done.
You TV people are unbelievable. Our mission is to go forward.
God, I love it.
Things are just getting good. Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Made a little tweak to the schedule.
I'm actually really looking forward to it.
This April, the superstars of World Wrestling Entertainment are coming to WGN America. Your favorite superstars from SmackDown, CW, and Raw. But before they arrive, they'll battle on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. And you could be there. Register at WGNAmerica.com WGN.com for a chance to win a trip for two to the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania in Houston, Texas. Then watch WWE on WGN America. WWE Superstars on WGN America this April.
You know what I like to see?
You gotta see this.
What would you like to see? Something funny.
What is this, high school?
Seems like it. Everybody's having sex but me.
I'm just a regular guy. I want to see what everybody else wants to see.
Mama! Well, wait. Go back. You may want to watch this.
I like to see a television show about us.
Oh, now I get it.
I just sat there watching and watching and watching and watching and watching. Let's go. Damn right.
On the next Boston Legal Weekends.
Tonight at 7 East, 4 West.